until Babcock left to go to Toronto, it was Popovich and Duncan and Ginobili, Brady and Belichick and Babcock and Zetterberg and Datsuk. And those were like the three longest tenured guys. And then the Cubs, you think about it, they ran into Albert Pujols and Tony La Russa. So it's kind of funny how that works out. And sometimes you can have good teams, and it just takes 1 year to break through, but you end up against Hall of Famers or against dynasties.
I think that Detroit team, their string of making the playoffs might have been as long as the Spurs right now, or in that ballpark.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Are y'all with me?
I think I saw that this year is one of the first years in like the last, 20 or 25 or 30 that they've had a pick inside the top five.
Yeah.
Are y'all with me on the Blues probably in that running for best team to never win a major? The Sabres would be in there.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
I was just trying to think about that.
Because they've had good teams. It's not like they had crummy teams that didn't make it. They had good teams, as he said, that broke their fans' hearts.
Had the French connection in the early 70s, didn't they? The Buffalo Sabres teams had some really good players. But Washington, that was a big one eliminated last year, Chris. You know, there aren't many long-time, long-suffering to never have won it. But across sports, we're really counting it down. You know, when the Saints won it, that eliminated a big one in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely. And another fan base that had been through a lot, on and off the field, especially after Hurricane Katrina and then Steve Gleason. And, there's something about me that just roots for those kind of teams.
Me too.
The Sharks haven't won. I know that I'm not putting them in the same stratosphere because they've only been around since the early 90s or whatever, but that's a team that has been the class of the West for the last, decade or so as well. And I really think there is something to hockey. And I know that sometimes in hockey we get, maybe draped in cliche and hyperbole, but there's just something about the sport and the emotion. And, when players and coaches say that to win the Stanley Cup, you need to break through some scar tissue. You need to break through some heartbreak. Rarely do you see a team just waltz to the Cup final without having stumbled the previous couple of years, or the same group of players stumble multiple times, or a fan base deal with the season ending in absolute agony. And, the Blues and San Jose have both done that. San Jose now has gotten to a Cup final and lost a couple of years ago after beating the Blues in the Western Conference final. The Blues got over the hump, beating the Blackhawks in the first round in 2016, got to the Western Conference final, got eliminated by the Sharks. So I really feel like there is something to that. And I'm not sure if that's the case in other sports, but it just, I think, speaks to the length and the grind and the physicality and everything that is the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Last thing on hockey with Chris Redby, I promise. And it has to do, because I know you guys talk on KMOX about the Blues and about the NHL. What was the overwhelming consensus about the terrible call in the San Jose-Vegas game, of which the NHL today apologized to Vegas for and banned the two referees, one of them their longest active officiating playoff guy for the next round? What was the talk in St. Louis about that?
In most cases, people outside of maybe San Jose just agree that it was not the right call. And I think where I stand on it is that a call of that magnitude in that situation that is going to have that impact on a game, you need to give the officials every bit of help that you can. And I think that, obviously because of the way that Pavelski fell and hit his head and, was bleeding and looked like unconscious, like it would only be human to react to that in a certain way. But call of that magnitude at that stage of that game, I just feel like you've got to give the officials every opportunity to get that call right. I understand.
I agree. Yeah. And they thought it was a high stick because there was blood. I get it. But, man, you should have taken a second look or really talked it through.
Yeah. And like, I understand that subjective call, again, like pass interference, and you don't want to open Pandora's box of reviewing every single one of those and, slowing down the game to some extent. But, I mean, if you're calling a 5-minute major, maybe that's the exception. I think that, when we hide behind human error as a beauty or something, cute about the game, that to me is when I have an issue, because maybe it's great when it goes for your team, but how would you feel if that's the way you were eliminated? I mean, the Blues in Game 5 in Winnipeg, down 2-0 in the third period, had a delay of game penalty because the official said that Joel Edmondson, flipped the puck up over the boards and that it wasn't deflected. Well, simple replay 5 seconds later shows that it deflected off the stick. Blues killed the penalty, but if they don't kill that penalty and they lose that series because of that, that's what we're talking about for the next 5 months. I mean, that is a black and white call in the biggest moment of, at that point, the biggest game of the season. Why can't you take a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes and get the call right? You have the technology. Take the onus off the poor officials. Like, they did what they thought was right. We all have the opportunity of hindsight. Give them the same opportunity.
Chris, 1 month ago tonight, you were in Memphis doing the exhibition game between the Cardinals and the Redbirds. That night, if I'd have told you, Chris, on the 25th of April with a weekend series at home against the Reds and then 2 roadies to wrap up April in Washington against the Nationals, the Cardinals will be 15-9, and they will have 1 starting pitching performance getting out in the 7th inning. Would you take it?
Oh, man. It's pretty incredible, like the way that they've gotten where they are. And you're right, I didn't think this would be the way that they got here. The starting pitching has been much better lately, but they've been able to just come up with ways to win games. And I think the most impressive thing is that they've swept the Dodgers, they've swept the Brewers, so they've beaten arguably the 2 other best teams in the National League, and they're just starting to find their starting pitching, I think. The lineup, more than anything, has just been what's really stood out to me. Some of the firepower they have, and, how plugging one guy like Paul Goldschmidt into the middle of the lineup can affect everyone.
Well, their hitting has been outstanding.
And Chris, to your favor, I would say you would have been on the most extreme patient side, supportive, give it time to Dexter Fowler of about anybody out there, and you've been vindicated.
Yeah, and
it's April. I wouldn't vindicate yet.
It's a lot better than it was.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, again, in 2017, his first year with the Cardinals, he put up numbers that were at or better than his career average. Like, he was maybe now, whether or not that's worth $82 million, that's a completely different argument.
Yeah,
but
that's the market.
I think that for the most part, Dexter Fowler has been Dexter Fowler. And then last year, he spoke openly about the fact that he wasn't in the lineup regularly under Mike Matheny, and he was being yo-yoed in and out, and he was just starting to feel good when Mike Schultz started playing him every day, and then he broke his foot. So, again, I don't think he's ever going to be 2017 Dexter Fowler. That was a bit of an aberration, I think, on a team that is going to go down as historically good with the Cubs. 2016 Dexter Fowler with the Cubs, for a variety of reasons. But can he be a good everyday player who can, get on base, play solid defense, and hit with a little pop from both sides of the plate? Yeah. So they do have some decisions to make with Harrison Bader being healthy and Jose Martinez hitting the ball and Marcell Ozuna hitting the cover out the ball. So
he's been terrific.
At some point somebody's going to be squeezed out. But I just, for a guy that you both know is as likable as Dexter, I'm just glad to see him healthy and in a good place right now.
Well, Cubs just stranded too. They're in the 8th now, down 1-0. Pitching battle, a duel going on in Wrigley. Chris Raby, as always, we appreciate your coming on, and we'll do this again next week's in your normal time slot.
If you have any normalcy. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, we will be. We'll be getting ready for. Let's see, Game 4 on the road. We'll talk to you next week.
You got it, man.
You got it. Thank you. This portion of the show brought to you by Conway. Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. They're always trying things. They're always doing their best to make it easy for you. And sometimes they give back, like right now, the $1,500 Visa gift card if you replace your old energy guzzler with a Select Carrier Infinity air conditioning and heating system. Now, if you happen to have a system that takes 2 units upstairs, downstairs, front of the house, back of the house. I'm talking $3,000 in Visa cards. You can take a good vacation for $3,000. And they're going to throw in for free a payment plan, no interest, 3 years. April Air Cleaner, free to get the dust out of your home. A free Nest thermostat. That's the latest and greatest with technology. And a 10-year parts warranty, absolutely free. All you got to do is make the call, 384-3511. That's Conway Services, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
We're at 2857 Appling Way at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. Come on out, register to win Music Fest tickets. We'll give away another set.
April Air Cleaner, free. No, when we come back,
all registering,
we are drawing.
We will draw,
and we will give away a pair of tickets.
We got baseball
to
tickets.
Music Fest. And anybody who wants 6 tickets to tonight's Ole Miss game, it starts at 8 against A&M. Come on in right now.
If I said, who wants a hot new Silverado right now, how many hands would go up in here? All of them are going up. There you go. Yeah, everybody would. You need to be at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch, and it just happens to be Chevy Truck Month. All the deals like financing at 0 for 72 months. Most have cash back for you. All-Star Chevy, all the best Chevys, drive them on the highways, on the back roads, so you know exactly what you want. Speaking of Music Fest, ask Zach Myers of Shinedown. Yep, Shinedown, Zach Myers. He's loving life in an All-Star Chevy, and you could meet him, test drive any All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch between now and April 30th, and you can register to win tickets and a close-up and personal backstage meet and greet with Zach Myers and Shinedown at Music Fest on May 3rd. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. Go to allstarautogroup.com. All the Chevys, all the Truck Month deals, and a good chance to win Shinedown Fun on May 3rd.
We are at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar, 2857 Appling Way, roughly Appling and 64. Come see us. We've got a drawing for Music Fest tickets in just a minute. Stick around. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
From Penny, the Tiger player.
I think it's just every hardware this and every hardware that, but we have just more than one player on the team.
Through Penny, the Tiger coach.
Well, I think the main game plan is we can teach you. We're going to develop you. We're going to get you better.
For over 25 years, we have been real sports talk for Memphis in the Mid-South. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
If you're having pain in your hips, knees, shoulders, neck or back, autoimmune disease like Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis, and neuropathy, then you need to call Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. Dr. Schrader is a pioneer in many less invasive procedures. In 2012, he was asked to join a California research group and be a part of their approved clinical research study on stem cell therapy. He became a patient as well as a provider, and he decided to give this a shot. When he received pain relief from his own stem cells, he decided to offer the procedure to his patients. It's a painless procedure. Your own stem cells are harvested from your own body. They're concentrated to their purest form and then injected into your joints and given through an IV. Stem cells are an effective, non-invasive procedure, and they can be a very good alternative to surgery. So if you've been unable to enjoy tennis or golf, hunting, fishing, everyday activities that you love to do, please call Dr. Schrader. The number is 901-465-4300. Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center.
So you need to replace worn tires, but you know that without proper alignment, you'll be right back where you started in no time. King's Tire and Alignment in South Haven can solve that problem. For 32 years, King's Tire and Alignment has been helping Mid-South motorists keep it between the ditches. And right now, when you buy 4 tires, King's will give you a free front-end alignment. The other guys say they have low prices, but you end up paying more. Take your car to King's Tire and Alignment. They'll steer you right where you've always found them. 8945 Highway 51 North in South Haven.
Millennium Paint and Body Works in Horn Lake is a full collision repair facility offering paint, body, frame, and mechanical services. They can also help you with towing, glass, and paintless dent removal services. Let's say you've been in an accident. Now what? If you aren't, they can help you get back on the road as soon as possible. And did you know that you, not your insurance company, has the right to choose your repair facility? Millennium Paint and Body Works in Horn Lake. Call 662-280-2022. Their certified technicians have over 150 years of experience, and they understand that you drive home their reputation.
Hey, Sean, you haven't been paid for last week's landscaping gig? Not okay. You only pushed the lawnmower in concentric circles for 8 hours straight. Come on. You only trimmed bushes in the blazing hot sun for 5 days in a row.
With QuickBooks, you can send invoices and accept payments to get paid twice as fast.
You deserve the greens, and I'm not talking about lawn clippings.
You earned it. We're here to make sure you get it. QuickBooks, backing you. Getting paid 2 times faster based on U.S. customers using QuickBooks Online invoice tracking and payment features from August 17 to July 18.
Listen up, cheeseburger fans. Buffalo Wild Wings has a new one. The new All-American Cheeseburger. Fresh, juicy beef, smashed, smothered in gooey cheese, and stacked to the ceiling with deliciousness. And they're making it just $5 for just 4 days. April 22nd to 25th. So steal some cash from your swear jar. You can refill it when you say, "That's a good burger." Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar! Dine-in orders only while supplies last. Participating locations only. Limit of one $5 promotional order per customer per visit. Taxes extra.
Now, back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Yes, welcome back in at the Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar on Appling Way and 64. If you're going to GPS at 2857 Appling Way, really just get to Appling and 64, make a right, next big street, make a right. You'll see us. It's big, it's huge.
We used to
It is
find
next
places
level.
like that, just hanging rights, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Just fine.
Why don't we draw Karen Murphy? We're going to ask
Karen,
you to draw for a pair of tickets.
Hold on, we got one more.
Music
Want to jump
Fest.
in
Yes.
for the first drawing? So
let's
we'll do that.
We will be happy to do that. A reminder coming up: Hank McDowell will talk some basketball, both the NBA, and that was a major league win for the Clippers. You know, the Golden State Warriors were never in it, and I got to ask him about their defense last night because that was some of the worst defense I have seen Golden State play all year.
That was a very detached, uninspiring effort last night for Golden State.
Can you turn it on and off that way?
Be careful.
Well, they did after they blew the 31-point lead.
But it'll get tougher with every round, and get careful because, I mean, sometimes it's hard to find that on-off switch when you're trying to get it back on and it stays off. And, you know, it's an off season coming up for Golden State. It's going to have a lot of drama.
Well, I think you could say goodbye to Kevin Durant. I don't think there's any question
Boogie.
about that. Boogie, but, you know, as we said the other day, Boogie cost himself $150 million
real money,
into an NBA exec with 2 different injuries over the last 2
Let's
years. And then Klay Thompson could go. But I think Klay Thompson will be back.
He sure could.
I really do have that feeling. So Karen Murphy digs down deep. And we got a pair of tickets to the Music Fest on the line. Is Tristan Jones in the house? Tristan Jones.
We'll call them. We'll call them if they've left. That's the winner.
That is the winner. So Tristan Jones has tickets won to Music Fest. We congratulate her on the W, on the ticket. So that is kind of cool.
Hey, McDowell in the house as we go inside Hoop City in the next hour.
I got lots to talk with him about.
Really good to see.
That is for sure. I'm double checking to see what my
one zip.
Still one zip?
Yeah.
Top
of the 8th.
This will be a heartbreaker to lose.
But it's a cold one in Wrigley.
I bet it is cold today. I bet it is. Yep, 1-0.
One and only trip through Wrigley for the Dodgers all year. If they go back to Wrigley, it'll be in the play. Come playoff time.
Cubs were trying to do what the Cardinals have done, and that would get a broom out because they won the first 2 games.
We've got a broom. We got the broom handy anywhere today, Tristan Jones?
Tristan?
It's a he, and he's a winner.
Oh, so Tristan,
Music
let me ask you, what day do you want to go to Music Fest? Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? Saturday it is.
Just like that.
So far, we've gotten one Friday, one Saturday going. That's yours. Congratulations.
Way to go, bud.
I'm so happy for you. All right. So we've got winners with big smiles on their faces. Again, anybody wants to go to the Ole Miss A&M baseball game tonight, want to take the family or a bunch of buds, 6 tickets. I got 6 tickets I'll just give you. We'll let you know this portion of the show brought to you by Family Leisure. I had a nice chat with Billy Connolly the other day, and I want to let everybody know this is the time to really cash in on so many different things at Family Leisure. It's not just the pools, although they've got those. You want to add one to your backyard? You know you can get one of those. How about finishing off your outdoor space with new patio furniture? They got it all. They got new outdoor kitchens and fireplaces and pergolas. They're all in, plus special pricing on all in-stock hot tubs. Mention this ad, you get a free pool float with your purchase. The great outdoor sale at Family Leisure and Whidden Road going on. You know where that place is. That's where family and fun all come together. We are we just got to remind you to come and visit with us. You got a chance to win tickets. We'll give you away some T-shirts, but you've got to see this new next level. It really is the Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. I think the cigar part is very cool, where you can go in there. It's glassed. You can look out and see all your buddies playing pool or
Dave,
whatever.
I don't see a Bears helmet, though.
Why, they're missing one. Hey,
might be on the other side.
This place, I got to tell you, this is not totally all in place. Yeah, they're still
just getting
building
open.
this thing up.
Come on.
No doubt about it. We take the top of the hour break. When we come back, Hank McDowell, inside Hoop City. He's already preparing for this show. Amazingly, the steps that he goes through to be thorough. Wonderful stuff. We're back in a minute. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Hey, folks, Rob Fisher here to tell you about HIMS. It's something you may not want to talk about, sexual performance issues. Well, it's more common than you think. Over 25% of new ED cases are guys under the age of 40. And why do guys turn to weird solutions or do nothing when they can turn instead to medicine and science? There's a large gap between having issues and doing something about it. ForHims.com is the solution, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness for men. HIMS connects you with real doctors and medical-grade solutions to treat ED, and new solutions are coming constantly. Well-known generic equivalents to name-brand prescriptions to help you combat ED. There's no waiting room, no awkward in-person doctor visits, no lines, and you could save hours by going to forhims.com. Try HIMS for a month today for just $5. We'll get you started for just $5 while supplies last. See website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/fish5. That's forhims.com/fish5.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak. Yum. Fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry. Let's go. You drive, I'll buy.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith and the Memphis Spunk Horns, Reba Russell and the Natchez Band. Open 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. daily. Neil's Bar and Grill,
where the fat man rocks.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 87.7 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app, and at home, tell Alexa or Google to play Sports 56. If it's happening in the world of sports, we've got it covered. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGF-LP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Yes, welcome back in. It's the Thursday edition of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats, and we are on the road. We are at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. You're saying what?
Yeah.
What is that? That's a brand new place. It opened today. They got all kinds of stuff happening with the draft, including a Titan who will be here later. They got the most incredible big screen TVs across a whole wall like I've never seen before. This actually is next level. A very cool circular bar in the middle of the place, pool table, a Bronco bull, I guess you would say, from like Urban Cowboy back in there you can do. There is a closed-in glass cigar bar where you can smoke in the place. You're not going to bother anybody. The smoke is vacuumed away. It is just too cool. It is absolutely next level.
It really is almost as good a setup as they have on Broadway in Nashville. We got all that on here, and we're going to go inside Hoop City with Hank McDowell, talk all things Tigers and Grizzlies. We do it every Thursday, and he's on site with us. Come out and see him, register to win, visit, and meet Hank McDowell inside Hoop City, brought to you every Thursday by Campbell Clinic, outpatient joint replacement. For decades, having a hip, knee, or shoulder replaced, it meant a lengthy stay in the hospital. Now Campbell Clinic offering revolutionary joint replacement on a same-day outpatient basis. That's right, no more IVs, sleepless nights in a hard bed, or hospital food. When you have your joint replaced, you check in, you check out at Campbell Clinic on the same day. You'll be home with a new hip or knee in time to see the Grizzlies play that night, the Tigers play, the NBA playoffs, the NFL draft, anything. Patients are raving about the experience, one-on-one care in a comfortable environment. You start your recovery in the comforts of your home. Campbell Clinic, truly revolutionary, and literally they wrote the book, the master textbook on orthopedic medicine right here in Memphis by Campbell Clinic. 901-759-5400, 901-759-5400. Let's go inside Hoop City.
It's time to go inside Hoop City with Grizzlies radio analyst Hank McDowell. Sponsored by Campbell Clinic. Each Thursday, the former Tiger great and 8-year pro joins Wolo and Stats to talk Tigers and Grizzlies and all things Hoop City. Now, here's Hank McDowell with Wolo and Stats.
Hi, the big man's here. But before we talk hoops, and he's got a lot. I see all the prep. He's ready to go.
I'm prepped for this show.
I just don't understand.
Got a cold frost. You would prep. No,
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to stay here a while.
My man Hank loves golf like I love golf.
He does.
He really does.
I do.
My man Hank can hit a 5-iron like 230, 240. Tell the truth.
I swear, this is no lie. I've got 3 witnesses. I hit it out of the fairway. What is today? Thursday? Tuesday. 250 yards.
250 a 5-iron.
But it was one of those days.
Okay, I get it.
But it was a sweet spot.
So you did that. We know what you're capable of doing, and then you come in and you tell me you are going Tiger Woods. I'm in rebuilding from the ground up.
Tear down, rebuild.
Are we talking about stance to grip to everything? Why?
From the soles of my feet to my brain. I'm going through mental rehab with golf, everything.
Why?
What's happening like this for?
Was
it a cry for help?
No.
I think it is. I think it is.
Well, I mean, look. I've never been good.
Hi, my name is Hank.
I'm so competitive. I want to be good at golf, and I have my moments, but there's a big A on my forehead for amateur, and I just love golf. I always want to get better. I love practicing. I love hitting golf balls. But, I mean, I do. I never get tired
playing to practicing.
Well, I like to go out on the playground and know what you're doing, kind of thing. Have a better. So I got with my guru Chucky, and 3 straight days of changing ball placement, a little bit of grip, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And so 3 straight days. The first day when I played 9 holes, I felt like I was holding a shovel. I didn't know what I was doing.
Hard to make
I'm standing over the ball because you're hitting at the driving range, and it's a perfectly flat mat, not just perfect.
Right.
And you go, okay, I can do this. Well, all of a sudden, the ball's above your feet, below your feet, sideways, up. It's just like, what do I do?
Out of the comfort zone.
I'm sitting there, hold on, what do I do? And it was weird.
Are you going to get distance with this?
That 5-iron was
with your new thing?
That was
wow.
That was. I mean, it was a good and bad day. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't like it was just perfect, but it was much better than the first 9.
Isn't that something in your basketball life? Now, I'm not talking about the good kind of nerves. I'm talking the kind of nerves of oh, no, all these people, I don't know if I can do this. I bet you never had that, did you?
I tell you what, I'd never played in a golf. I mean, a true tournament. You know, I've played in scrambles and stuff like that. But the first time out at like Memphis National, where I'm a member, we played in a member, and I made it to the playoffs. And the first playoff hole, I'm standing at the tee box, par 4 down the Frank Road, and you look up, and behind the green are the carts.
Right.
The groupies, I call them.
Those are fun. Those are the guys that lost.
Exactly. And there's friends there, and I'm looking up, and I'm going, holy cow. And the whole, it looked like grandstand of golf carts.
And you were nervous.
And I said, and I told this guy, I said, I've shot free throws in front of 16,000 people, but this is weird. And luckily, I hit the fairway. I got it in the fairway. I said, whoo.
Yeah.
You know, that first shot, just get that over with. And it was good.
But the muscle memory and the years of training, for one thing, it did not make you nervous. That literally was your job to play professional basketball.
Yeah, and you don't think about missing a shot because of the people.
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't.
Well, the competitors can get to you too. I had a very similar situation playing in a member guest at Ridgeway, playing with my brother-in-law against Packard DeWitt and I think it was Buzz Fly.
Was there any trash talking?
And
steep competition.
It was the 9th hole, and I hit a good shot, which is a long par 3, and I got a chance to win the match for us if I birdie it. Of course, I'm uphill, and I go way past, and then I choke.
And then you got to come down the hill.
And we go from winning to losing, and it was all on me. So that could happen because look who I was playing.
Yeah.
You know what I like when you get in those situations is like, you know, you've got 2 putts. Competitive, say me and Stats are a team, and you and Packard are a team, and you're up next. And you've got a little longer putt than Stats here, and you go, good?
Okay. Well, absolutely.
Stats,
I would do that.
Stats putt is a 2-footer up the hill, straight up the hill. Yours is a 4-footer with a hard break to the left. I did that to our friend Willie Allen the other day. He went good. Give it to you? He went good. And I went, no, yours is a 6-inch break to, and he missed it. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there was like a nickel on that hole.
Let's get to mental stuff here. Can a great team, and I'm referring to the Golden State Warriors, who've played in the last 4 finals and have won 3 of them, can a great team turn it on and turn it off? Because they absolutely were never in the game last night.
Yeah, they start. I believe, yes, they can and they can't at the same time. Last night, they probably thought the Clippers were going to fold. I don't know why they would think that. I mean, these guys are professionals, and they don't want them to go down like that. So I believe they walked out there, unfortunately, not got together in the locker room and said, oh, these guys are done, and everybody walked out with an agreement. All we got to do is go through the motions. I think it was just an individual setting for these guys to kind of go through the motions, except for KD, 45 points. He didn't go through the motions.
He didn't mail it in, did he?
No, but defensively,
and he's the one guy we know won't be there next year.
Well, I hope he is. I don't want him to go to the Knicks. But anyway.
We want him out of the West.
Say goodbye. He's
going
to the Knicks with
you watch him one time at the Garden next year.
But defensively, the Warriors didn't play. They just didn't play. I mean, how in the world? You got 57 points off the bench. Williams with 33. You got Patrick Beverly with a double-double.
Patrick Beverly. Has he made a rep this series or what? I mean, he's always been an irritant.
It's about every other year.
He's doing some good things on offense now.
I mean, was it 17 and 14 he had last night? 14 rebounds. 14 rebounds. I mean,
that's wanting to.
Well, they had a lot of offensive rebounds last night. I only watched the first 3 quarters, and after that, I go, Golden State's not going to win this game, and I went to bed.
Boy, when they took the lead with about 2.5 minutes to go, you sure thought it was going to do it. I mean, but good for the Clippers.
Based on absolutely nothing, just pure supposition, would it shock either of y'all, win or lose? But for sure, if they won it, Steve Kerr, with the health difficulties he's had with his back, he will have one. That'd be his 4th at Golden State.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 in a row if they win it. But even if they don't win it, he steps away. Back to the easy life, back to TV. Maybe just take some years off. Would it shock you, either of y'all?
No, it would not.
Even whether KD stays or goes, it wouldn't shock me.
You know what? I
good for him.
I would say this. I don't know that he's really enjoyed this year.
I don't either, Dave.
I don't know that he's enjoyed his team's attitude this year. And I think he addressed it earlier saying, it's great to win that first one. And it's even really pretty good to be hungry to win a second or a third. What Michael Jordan did, what Bill Russell did with those teams way back when.
Kerr was a part of Jordan.
They needed money, though, back in Bill Russell's days. They don't need money now. And to sustain the kind of excellence you have to have with everybody gunning for you, and you already got it made, I think he's tired of fighting that battle.
You know, I think part of his personalities, if you think about it, and I'm just going to mention Draymond by name.
Right.
I mean, he walked in the league and shocked people with his play and how physical and how good and how quick and da-da-da-da. But there wasn't any personality, wasn't any drama with that his first year or two. And then as you kept going on, a little more drama and a little more antics and a little more technicals and a little more of this and a little more of that, to finally – this year you got DeMarcus Cousins on the same team, and then you got the bickering between KD and Draymond. And Steph always stays out. Clay stays out for the most part. But all it takes is really one, and that one has really reared his head up this year. Draymond Green and his outspokenness and whatever you want to call it, just has really been a distraction for this team. I'm sorry. It's still the same really good team. But if you don't feel good about walking out of that floor with your teammates, then probably not good things are going to happen.
And, Hank, almost the legendary story of the workout at FedEx Forum at the Grizzlies practice facility, witnessed by a lot of people, of Draymond Green.
Yeah. I mean, the guy can play basketball. There's absolutely no doubt about
this
that.
is George Flynn. I wanted to welcome you to the website.
He's
proven
that
to the office.
He's a star.
It's called the Flynn Clinic.
He's the one.
Attitude
a lot of information.
Yeah, but he's kept passion. I'll
So
say that for
go
him.
ahead and
Well, he
navigate
turns
the
that
entire
passion
website.
and he feels like he can say anything or do anything. You know, it just, and he goes so far with the officials. I don't blame an official at all. I've seen him rip an official's shirt off verbally and not get teed up. I mean, it comes to a point where you're like, I can't listen to this.
Give me your sense of Kevin Durant then too, because to me, I like Kevin Durant as a player. I love him as a player.
Right,
Let's be honest with you. But I think he's a selfish kind of a guy. If he to be a teammate, he has to point out that I sacrificed for you.
Well, you know, to take a big pay cut the way he did that first time, I mean, yeah, I'd say there's sacrifice.
Well, there, no doubt.
You know, and poor DeMarcus Cousins who took a sacrifice this year.
But you know what? Let me ask you this, though. With that sacrifice, do you not think he made up for a lot of that with endorsements? He would not have gotten with Oak City?
No doubt about it. Absolutely. No. Just take away the money part of it. He joined a team that was already
navigate
successful.
the entire website.
Remember, because
We want to see
Draymond
you in
pointed
the
that out.
office whenever you need our service.
Because
Look forward to seeing you there.
why not? Why shouldn't I?
They're all going to hate each other next year. When they all go their separate ways, we'll get the real story. We'll get the finger pointing. And I don't know if Steve Kerr wants to hear that at town to town, every new group of media he's around about that next year. I just really feel like win or lose, we're seeing the last days of him. And last night I saw a detached, not defeated, not resigned, but I'm really kind of sick of this look on his face.
KD, you mean?
No, Coach Steve Kerr.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can just see where he's just fed up.
Yeah.
And you know what? You walk away with a fourth ring and 5 and
3 in a row.
And you just look at it and you go, you know, my back hurts. Okay. He don't even have to use that excuse. He just always says, like, I need to get away.
And he's got one of the bad backs of all time.
Yeah,
we need to send him to Campbell Clinic.
Yes, he does. He needs to come into town.
He needs a month at Campbell Clinic because he has really fought it through the years. But a champion on the floor, and he's been a champion in coaching. We always, because the Grizzlies are in the West, we started kind of West centric today. In the East, I see what you have circled, and
it was I want to see.
And it was my team that I picked before these playoffs, not preseason, but before these playoffs. I picked Giannis and the Bucks to win it all.
I hope you see. I've got the 2 circled: Golden State and Milwaukee. That's who I want to see in the finals because Giannis is just it's remarkable. It's just remarkable what that guy does, and then his teammates around him. Bledsoe's a perfect fit for him, I think, as a point guard. And then the rest of them defensively and offensively just kind of shoulder what they can do or what they should do. Giannis, I gulp every time I see him take a 3. I just like, oh, please don't do that. But every once in a while you'd have to. If he makes one, then they got to get a step closer. If they get a step closer,
and he goes around.
They're beaten by a step further on the other side.
That's the most amazing part. That a guy that big has that quick first step that is coordinated with
and long
with a handle. It is a scary thing. And the other thing that is intriguing to me about Antetokounmpo is that he came up a different way. He didn't go to college. He really went a year or two in Europe, and then came here to really learn his skill. And we may be seeing more of that in time when the new CBA allows guys to leave high school and go straight to the pros. Now, that's still going to be a small percentage, but you may see guys bloom while playing the NBA game. That's how Antetokounmpo made it.
I tell you what, to have watched him grow up and how he's become such a force. And I'm sitting there the other night, and I can't think of the announcer, but they were talking about if he ever gets a 12 to 14-foot jump shot, he'll be better than Jordan. Now, that's a statement. But it's one of those things, if the guy ever gets a 12 to 14-foot jump shot, truly gets one, he's unstoppable.
That's got to be one of the easier things to teach someone that talented, isn't it?
Well, you'd think at his size and his length and his shooting, he's got good form from inside the lane area, but the guy is just – he shoots 55% from the floor because most of it's in the painted area.
Right.
Jump hooks, dunks, long
just
Euro,
offensive rebound putback.
His Euro step is like all the way across Europe.
Yeah,
it's amazing to me how long those steps are. But he gets defenders. He did it to Blake Griffin the other night, coming down on not really a fast break, but he had the ball coming down the middle, lost the guy at the top of the key, came straight at Griffin. Griffin thought he was gonna go left, and he leaned this way, and sure enough, man, that
right
long
around
body, it blows my mind every time I see him
Is
play.
the Euro step should that be that allowed?
You mean the third step?
Right. We used to call that traveling.
Yeah, that's called the Euro step
Right.
for some people. For me, it'd be called traveling.
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now, that would be traveling.
If you're
right.
a glider, though, it's not.
I'll tell you what they give everybody, though. You're right. Some guys get that third step.
absolutely.
Others do not. Everybody gets palming, though. There's not a ball handler
rarely.
in the NBA that doesn't palm the ball every time.
Can
It's
you
gotta be
imagine?
pronounced.
Can you imagine some of the ball handlers in the 70s? Calvin Murphy, if he could have palmed it with that impunity, if Nate Archibald could have, if Otis Birdsong and Phil Ford could have. I mean, just guard after
Julius
guard.
Erving. I mean, think about guys with hands like that.
Julius-
if he could have done this to get it somewhere, but his hands were so big.
If he could have palmed it and the Euro step,
he could probably, because his hands were so big, he could pick it off the dribble and just move it without palming it. I mean, that I can see happening with certain people. But
We'll get more of your prepped insight.
I love numbers. You love
Well,
numbers.
well, you're going to give us numbers here in 1 second. I got to let everybody know our title sponsor for this hour of the program's home, or Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch, home of assurance. I'm talking 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty on every car. So you heard that. 100,000 miles, 10 years. That's how much they believe in their product. And for the last 11 years, the number one certified pre-owned car dealership, because, again, they got to be Hyundais with less than 60,000 miles. They are terrific. They believe in service, and that's part of the other assurance you get, which is shopper assurance. Ask Chris True all about that. That's his brainchild. Just take Lamar into Mississippi, 15 minutes away. Not even that far. Turn left at Craft Road. You'll see how the car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. So what are the numbers, Hank McDowell, that are going to blow me away here?
Well, no, they don't blow you away. These are just things that you just look at and you go, you just don't think about that. So we're just talking about Antetokounmpo, and I was looking around and going, he's 13th in scoring in the playoffs.
Wow.
I mean, he's had 40, 45.
Right. I would have thought top 8.
He had 105 points in 4 games, 26 points a night. Now, here's the one that gets me. He 43 free throw attempts in 4 games, so almost 11 a game.
That's outstanding.
But he only shot 62%. The guy,
wow.
I mean, this number's like
better.
You're thinking
Yeah.
if he makes 75% of those, he's
30,
averaging 28 points a game.
Yeah, 28, 30.
I mean, it's stuff like that. His teammate, Brooke Lopez, remember I mentioned they do what they do? 3.5 block shots a game.
Did you
in the 4
think
games.
when I don't know, were you with me when we watched him in the NCAAs? You may have already been gone. They played in Oak City before we played.
Yeah.
And I never thought he would be this good in college. Did you? I mean, in the NBA.
Between the two of them,
yeah,
he is obviously the most steady.
Right.
Between he and Robin. I mean, but he seems to have a little more talent than his brother. Offensively he can get things done, but defensively they just kind of settle into what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brooks shoots 3-pointers now.
Right.
That's
I see that.
everybody shoots 3-pointers. What am I surprised?
Every big.
You would have been shooting threes.
And a 5'9" quarterback's going to be the number one pick tonight.
Absolutely.
Sports.
So it's one of those things you just look at how players evolve, how they either go away or they evolve. And that's kind of where we're at. Damian Lillard. How about that? That was a bad shot he took the other night.
No, it was a great shot. You know why? It went in. You know that.
That's a bad shot. So in the playoffs, let me see, where am I? He's got the most made threes in the playoffs, 26. He's got the most made threes beyond 30 feet in the playoffs.
Well, I heard.
How is that a bad shot?
Along those lines, he actually has a better percentage from 30 to 40 feet than he does 30 to 23.9 or whatever the thing is.
That's going to make you want to shoot more.
I want to say he was 6 of 15 from beyond 30 feet, and the league was 3 of 38. Something like that. I mean, it's a number you're going.
It's crazy.
Okay, so you could see the way he was gauging himself. I mean, and Paul George knew the likelihood of it going up because Paul George just kept inching past the 3.
He was cold-blooded.
But it was a nice little step back, not Harden kind of step back, which is really cool in 3 or 4 steps, but a nice little step back, and he got to where he wanted to go. I mean, there's just stuff that just floors me. I can't believe he made it, but he did.
Did y'all notice the defensive play with the hands, the steals, the tip-aways that James Harden made last night late in that game when Utah had a chance to really swing the game, and he had the knockaway? I think his defense. No, it's not Sidney Moncrief defense. It's not. It's not Tony Allen.
He's
defense.
third in the league in steals,
but it is underappreciated because he's so prolific, so prodigious on the offensive end.
One thing I think he does is he calculates. He
picks his spots.
He does very much. He anticipates very well on those steals, but then the rest of the time, if you're a decent ball handler, he's about a 3-step defender because his 4th one he's given up. But if he can get the steal on a pass or maybe a rip, he's going to go for it.
I think Milwaukee's going to win in the East. I just want to ask back to the West for a minute. Do you think there's any chance Portland could end up coming out of the West?
No. I don't think they're deep enough. I just don't. I love watching them play. I'm glad they won that series because I love beating Oklahoma City.
Like Russell Westbrook,
the way they acted in their
unusual
one win.
style.
In their one win, they acted like such little brats, and I'm like, please just stomp on them and get it over with. But that's me.
Hank, thanks so much for coming by.
Man, that's great to come by.
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Is this place not cool?
Stay with us through the draft.
Didn't you used to have an office around here?
It's still around here. I'll
still
take
right
it
here?
for lunch. But I'm not going to walk over if I really wanted to. I parked the car, and I thought, you really can't see through the windows.
Yeah.
I opened the door, and I was like,
whoa. First thing you see is that wall of television.
You see that in these sofas.
Yeah, the sofas are cool.
I mean, this is like a lounge. I love this place. I'll be back. No doubt about it.
Hank McDowell with us every Thursday afternoon, going inside Hoop City, talking all things NBA, college basketball, Tigers, Grizzlies. Brought to you by Campbell Clinic. You suffer a knee injury, seriously sprain your shoulder, perhaps you break your finger, and it's 5:30 in the afternoon. Where do you go? You go to Campbell Clinic after hours. Go to www.campbellclinic.com to find out more details.
Tom Bowen's going to join us next, the athletic director of the U of M. In the right before we get to the end of this next half hour, we will give away another pair of tickets to Music Fest. And again, we still have on the docket here 6 tickets to tonight's Ole Miss Rebel baseball game with A&M. Take the family, get your buds, come by this great place, see it, ask for it. We'll even give you T-shirts with it. Come on by. This portion of the show also is brought to you by the Germantown Commissary. A nice discussion with Walker Taylor today. Man, they're just knocking it dead in their new place, which by now you know is at Houston Levee Road and Poplar Avenue. It is triple the size, and we've doubled the fun of the Germantown Commissary because now there are 2. They still have the original, and you know where that is, in the quaint little area right there in Germantown. That's still there. But now they've taken the pitmaster went over, everybody's moved, and they got 3 times the size. Same food. They do it the same way. They still have the barbecue party packs, and we give away with a Q question of the week a couple of times a week. We have still self-serve catering for $5.95. They still do it. Old Memphis style, slow-cooked, hickory smoked. They just do it so well. This new place has a drive-through. It's got a party room for big events. It's got just a great little cool patio right by the tracks. They got local beers on tap, a huge selection of wine, plenty of parking, no telephone pole, I promise, and that same old great food. We've got 2 Germantown commissaries now, the newest in Collierville, right at Poplar and Houston Levee. We take the break. We'll be right back here at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar on Appling Way. Come on by and say hello. You could win tickets to Music Fest from Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
The Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10. Only on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Hi, this is John Conway with Conway Services. Are you ready for some warmer weather? I know I am. What about your air conditioning system? Is it ready for the hot Memphis summer? Good news, it's spring cleaning time at Conway Services. We'll come out and perform our exclusive 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your air conditioning system for only $69. That's right, Conway Services 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up on your existing air conditioning system for only $69, making sure you'll be cool when summer arrives. We'll remove years of dirt, grime, and leaves. It's like taking your air conditioner to a car wash, all for only $69. Call this week and we'll treat your air conditioner with a special Teflon coating to help protect against the hot Memphis sun. So call Conway Services, the Mid-South's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric service company at 384-3511. That's 384-3511. And when you call, ask for the early bird special and we'll perform your super tune-up for only $57.
Call 384-3511. Conway Services. Call Conway today.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. Great news from Sunrise for GMC truck buyers. Acres of new GMCs to choose from with savings up to $15,000 on new 18s and up to $10,000 on 19s. Immediate financing with next to nothing down and top dollar for trade-ins. A huge selection of late model GM certified trucks. And remember, Sunrise specializes in trucks under $15,000. Check out the huge selection and get your trade-in appraised online at sunrisememphis.com. Selection's greater, prices lower, and trade-ins are higher at Sunrise. Coming to White Wolf Chase and Collier, but we are professional grade.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Woloshin and Brad Norsworthy.
Halfway through our Thursday. We're having fun at this incredible place called Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. And honest to goodness, ladies and gentlemen, it really is next level. It is so cool with all of the big screen TVs and a whole bunch of lounge sofas that just make
Draft
it
Central tonight.
look cool.
It's as good a setup here, I promise you. We're seeing presented in Nashville.
Who's coming from the Titans today and the Cowboys tomorrow?
Tomorrow night from the Dallas Cowboys. Tonight from the Tennessee Titans, you will have tight end from the Titans, Jonnu Smith, and tomorrow Xavier Woods from the Dallas Cowboys. They will be signing from 8 to 9 o'clock each night. Tonight, Jonnu Smith. Tomorrow night, Xavier Woods. And the party starts about 7 tonight. Party's already started since we got here at 3 o'clock. Come on out. All but the grand opening night for Next Level Sports Bar and Cigar Bar. Come on out. We're having a lot of fun. It was so nice to have Hank McDowell come by. He's staying with us for a little while. And our next guest, I know he was going to try to make it. He said I hit him up a little short notice today, and I know he's busy, and he wasn't able to be with us last week.
He is Tom Bowen. He is our athletic director. You hear him every week in this little time slot. Tom, you will not believe this place. You got to come the next time we are here. But I know you're busy, crazy busy. And I want to go back a week because it was announced that this very same day that there was this new alliance between the SEC and the American pertaining to basketball. Could you tell us whatever the details you got and give us a little background on how all this came together?
Well, sure. Well, good afternoon, guys, and I'm sorry to get out there for this grand opening of the Next Level. I would like to be there. So,
thank you, Tom.
What has happened? Finally, has been finalized. It's been a great work by our commissioner, Mike Oresco, and the commissioner of the SEC, Greg Sankey, and their staffs. The athletic directors agreed to this, as well as the coaches, to create an alliance with the AAC, American Athletic Conference, and the SEC in January. And so I think it starts this January. We'll play I think we're at Georgia. And then I think Georgia comes back to my game. So it's a 2-game home and home. It's four AAC, 4 SEC, and then it rotates. And
so that'll be a matchup with Tom Crean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be, and it should benefit everyone involved, and it should be a great kind of break as the conference starts. Kind of a great non-conference opponent to certainly help you with your palm scores and some of the other stuff you're dealing with, and just create some momentum around your overall record. So we saw it as a great thing. We've been working on it probably for over a year, and it's finally been announced. So it's great things for the American, and we're honored to be a part of the Southeast Conference.
Do you think that this is the beginning of maybe even more stuff like this? For instance, I've always felt it would be natural to do Big East and American in sort of a challenge as well, because there are some old rivalries that could be not necessarily Memphis, but could be relived. Any chance for anything like that?
David, I don't have any idea on stuff like that. I would say this was probably more for the regional proximity of where we're at with the SEC being around us, and a lot of proximity for us to do this. That would be a big deal to do it the other way with another conference like that, distance-wise. But I do think you'll see more and more alliance propositions or proposals or discussions will happen. I think it's good for a group of 5 conferences or a group of 5 and other groups of conferences to do this. I think it creates some real excitement. It helps your fan base.
And, Tom, that's what I think, whether it was the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or the ACC, but for the SEC, one of the Power 5 conferences, not that the AAC needed any confirmation or any endorsement, but always great to have great business partners, and the SEC's a really good business partner.
Well, I'd say it's one of the best business partners you could be involved with as far as an alliance with competition. So, yeah, we're very, very, very excited about this possibility for sure.
What is your general strategy and Coach Hardaway's general strategy on the basketball scheduling, especially that November-December period? Do you want to be at Maui? Do you want to be at New York City? Last year you were down at Advocare.
Right.
Where do you stand on that type of scheduling?
Well, Coach Hardaway and I talk a great deal, and I fund and push everything I can to him that comes to my desk or comes in contact with me. So there's a lot of interest for us, and a lot of the exempt tournaments, a lot of big-time tournaments now have come back to us. And so, Penny and I sit down and talk about it and how he's going to figure it out here. And I think we're getting ready, maybe if we haven't already, we're announcing that we'd possibly be playing in Brooklyn again and have an opportunity at Barclays, and then we have an opportunity that could happen, in 2021, 22, 23. So I like Coach Hardaway's attack style with scheduling, try to get some big non-conference opponents. As you know, we'll have some big games now that now we have Georgia on the schedule. Certainly we got to go at Tennessee. And those are big time moments for us. And then some other guys, that are inside our non-conference scheduling. So I think I think our strategy has been to try to get, the best balanced non-conference schedule we can that helps us in getting the right kind of palm number and the right kind of opportunity for postseason. So,
and
I'm very impressed with the way Penny has taken on scheduling and what he's done. Very meticulous in what he's doing.
Does because of this potential class coming in, does television come to you with matchups too, or is that strictly just you and Penny doing your thing?
No, Dave, our TV's already predetermined with ESPN. So this new media deal, they'll decide what games they'll put on. They'll decide what times they'll put on. They'll decide who gets ESPN or who gets ESPN2. I do believe that our coach in our 18-19 season and our upcoming 19-20 season and our roster will give us some opportunities to have some real national broadcasts, which would be exciting. But we don't have any control of that anymore. Our media rights now belong in, and will always belong to the American Athletic Conference and the ESPN.
Tom, on football scheduling, it almost seems like everybody waits for a real crunch of actual dates and time, or actual times to be announced. And with the NFL putting out their schedule last week, it feels like about any day we could get opening day news on Tigers and Ole Miss to either stay on that Saturday or a time on that Saturday. Do you think you're getting close?
I do, and I think it's staying on the Saturday. I also, from our future non-conference schedulings, we're getting close to getting some of that ink. I saw some of my compadres had bled out their scheduling, and people could say to me, and so we have a great, some great 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 P5 opponents that we're just trying to get inked. And I'm heading to the football summit meetings with Coach Norvell this next Tuesday, and some coaches in there will finalize with us kind of the way scheduling works. It's really the coaches and athletic directors working side by side as it is with basketball. So, but I will tell you that I do think the Ole Miss game is going to stay on the Saturday the 31st. I've not had any indication they want to move that game at all. So that's great. That's great for everybody involved. So
you just the home team. You got a little more sway in it being the home team, don't you?
Correct. And we've asked not to move it. In fact, I've been adamant with Commissioner Resco that this game, even though it's a marquee game in the 19th season for ESPN to broadcast, I'm not asking to move it. I don't want to move it. So
you got me excited. You just said you got stuff out to 29. Let me clarify. You got stuff out to 29, and there's P5 involved.
Right. And Dave's making plans for 2035, Tom.
I listened to all my great fans and great Tiger football fans who have been like, what are we playing? What are we doing? So I would tell you it's been a lot more challenging than it was when I got UCLA and Ole Miss and Mississippi State, Missouri and Duke. And I mean, it's a lot more challenging now. And every time I start talking to athletic directors or they start talking to their football coach, the first thing they ask is Coach Norvell still there? So
far different.
That's been the challenge because we're just getting better and better and better.
Tom, heading into the summer of 2019, it feels a lot different than it did heading into summer of 2012 and opening day for you and Justin Fuente against UT Martin. You've come 10 million miles.
Well, I appreciate that, Stats. I will tell you that I do think, based on how the spring game went and the excitement around the spring game, and just based on the quality of young men that were here, and you look at Alan Cross, who was one of our patriarchs of the building of the program with Coach Fuente, and now he's coaching on the staff, and even he said, this is going the right way, and I really believe it is, and I think it's going to continue to get better and better and better, and more great young men are going to get out and play in the gridiron and graduate from the University of Memphis, and I think that's a great thing.
Yeah, but they coach it in that spring game. Goodness gracious!
Oh, come on, it was
Tom,
incredibly excellent.
One of the guys calling the shots. That radio guy was
3 and out.
Man.
3 and out. I kept stopping him. What can I say? I just want to emphasize and really proclaim the point you just made about guys, because let's face it, it's the student athlete. Coaching obviously is important. You got to have great student athletes that will execute the plan. And if they will be, if there is a Tiger who is drafted tonight, tomorrow, the next day, whatever it may be, and I think you guys are going to get drafted, you will have had a Tiger, a football player drafted by the NFL every year since 2014. We never would have said that prior to you and Justin Fuente getting here.
Well, I appreciate that, but I got to say, as athletic director, I got a bigger shout out today that you guys who play golf. My men's team won the American Athletic Conference Golf Championship.
Oh, I know it. I do know it.
And showed up and just took no prisoners, and so it's every program that's doing phenomenally well right now and continues to build. And I think that's really what I am most proud of. I would tell you, the athletic director, is that our graduation rate's tipping 93, 94%, and we're getting very, very, very competitive, and we're winning championships in the American, and kids are playing hard and going to class and doing well. So, but it will be exciting if Daryl Henderson gets picked tonight. I mean, but I saw that maybe late first round. Is that what you guys thought, or somebody said that? Did you hear that today?
I think he could be working his way toward that, but the kind of right now the template on running backs, but for sure in the second round, and he earned it, Tom. I mean, just what he showed he could do, and today helping keep us on track. One of the guys that was blocking in front of him, Gabe Coons, back in the studio.
Yeah.
I know he contacts you, and Gabe's such a fine representation of your department and what y'all have accomplished. And I know how proud he was to be a teammate with Daryl Henderson. We talked at length about Daryl yesterday. Everybody's proud of him. You should be, whether it's tonight or it's tomorrow or whatever round.
Or Pollard or Tate.
Exactly.
They're all really great reps of the university. I want to go back to your golf thing, because now I'm excited about the NCAAs. Do you know like dates and where they go for that first tournament?
Yeah. So it's kind of a seeding wherever they'll seed us. There's I think 5 sites where it starts. I think Louisville's the site, Athens, Georgia's the site, Pullman, Washington's the site, Palo Alto, Stanford's hosting is the site. And I think there's 1 or 2 more. And it starts May 10th, and it'll go to May 15th, or I think 15th. I think that's a Sunday. And basically, it'll be a kind of a draw where we get a draw. And we'd love to play someone close enough to we're not traveling great distances to go play golf, but just being in it now again is just exciting, and the kids are just over the moon. And so for me, I'm hoping they get a good draw, get into a field that they can finish in the top 3 and then keep moving through. So that would be really exciting for them and for the program and for Coach Smart. Blake Smart's done a great job. I hired him he was the assistant in Oklahoma, and he'd won the national championship at Kennesaw State in Division II, and he's just a great guy. He's done a great in his 5th year. He's done a great job.
Couple of things since we last talked to you 2 weeks ago that have occurred. One is you got a new deputy AD finally to replace Mark Allnut, and the second, and I want you to talk about both, is you gave a 2-year contract extension to your women's coach, Melissa McFerrin, a friend of mine who had probably the greatest recruiting class in her whole career, and that's other schools as well.
Well, we're really excited to have Jeff Crane. He's a rising rock star in collegiate athletics and administration, and has done a great job at South Carolina for Ray Tanner, who's the AD there, is a friend of mine. We did a national search. We had 160 qualified applicants. We interviewed 8 to 5 to 4 to 3 to Jeff. So I will say that it was very impressive in the entire field, and he's going to be a real addition to what we're doing. Coach McFerrin's contract extension is designed to help us take advantage of everything going on right now. All the momentum, the things we're doing, the horizon of what looks like in great players, to build upon some of the great moments that happened this year, including the win at the postseason tournament in the Mohegan Sun. So I'm excited to see what Coach McFerrin and their staff can do for the 1920 season. We're all looking forward to another hopeful, run up to postseason. So
and Tom, one of my favorite sayings. People ask me about what sport I like the best. I go, if they keep score, I like it. If they keep score, it matters, doesn't it?
That's right. That's exactly right.
It's
going to be a good year.
If you need anybody to go scout the golf course in Palo Alto, just call my services. I'm there for you, Tom. You know that.
Golf consultant.
I appreciate that.
Tom, thank you, man.
Great. Thank you, guys, and have a great weekend, and go Tigers.
Thank you, my friend. We appreciate
that.
That is Tom Bowen. He is the AD at the U of M. He's brought to you in part by Ken Garland. Ken Garland Custom Home Builders. Ken knows it's a big decision. It's spring. Maybe you're building that dream home. Maybe it's a renovation of your older home. You love the location. It feels so comfortable. You don't want to move, but you want the modern amenities. Nobody does it like Ken. Go look for yourself. Go to kengarland.com. You see what he and his dad have done for the last 40 years. I mean, he is the number one guy in the Metroplex. If you need land, he's got it. If you're not sure what to do with the land, he can tell you. He's very forthright. All you got to do is call him, 751-1632, 901-751-1632. He'll hear you. He'll think about it, and then he'll tell you yes and no. And if it's yes, he'll tell you how long and how much. He's always on the money. Ken Garland Custom Home Builders.
We are at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar at 2857 Appling Way. We're going to give away more Music Fest tickets. You got to come register for those. We got Ole Miss baseball tickets still to give away. Plenty of things to give away. We'll do another drawing for more tickets.
We're going to do another drawing next.
We're going to do it really soon.
Right after this break.
Let me tell you about Jason's Deli. Healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. Jason's Deli, all about choice, regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build your own selections, you will be delighted at Jason's Deli. All the pastas, all the potatoes, the chicken pasta primo, the chicken Alfredo, the not very aptly named plain Jane potato. It's not plain, but it's great. The plain Jane potato, the Texas style spud, all the potatoes, all the pastas, all the salads, Mesa chicken salad, chicken club salad, the taco salad, and plenty of organic food to choose from. Great salad bar, over 30 items on the salad bar, catering anytime, anywhere. And if you're in one of the locations, like on Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova, free ice cream in the restaurants. Again, at Ridgeway Road, Poplar and Highland, Olive Branch, and Cordova. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Come check this place out. We are at this just amazing place called Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. Come register if you're in the place, because we're drawing for Music Fest tickets
next
when we come back. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
The Press Box with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender. Weekday mornings at 6 on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Were you a high school or college athlete? All those years of practicing and competition can leave your body sore and riddled with arthritis or degenerative spine and disc disease. Dr. Lawrence Schrader himself was an All-American track and field star, and he wore his shoulders out throwing the discus. 2 torn rotator cuffs were inoperable, and it left him with very few options until 2012. He was asked to join a California-based research group and be part of their approved clinical research study of stem cell therapy. He became a patient as well as a provider for stem cell research. Then he decided to offer this to his patients. It's a painless procedure. Stem cells are harvested from your own body. They're then processed and then injected into your joints or given to you intravenously. Stem cell therapy is a non-invasive procedure, and it's a great alternative to surgery. If you're unable to enjoy everyday activities anymore, call Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. That's 465-4300. That number, 901-465-4300.
Let's up your life with Let's.
Experience the difference of a Spartan mower. Spartan not only looks amazing on and off the lawn, it's packed with standard features like GT Track for precision traction, balance, and control, with optional features like radial front tires and an all-new 360 floating seat system for an incredibly comfortable ride. Lads, for your zero-turn and golf car needs.
Let's up your life with Let's. Let's up your life. At Southern Airways, we fly to make your day.
Introducing the Southern Shuttle, featuring 4 times daily air service between Memphis and Nashville. Morning, noon, midday, and evening flights on Southern Airways connects you to Nashville without the wasted time and unpredictability of I-40. Flying Southern's easy with free parking and no TSA hassles.
At Southern Airways, we fly to make your day.
Book online at iflysouthern.com.
Hey guys, time to get ready for summer. Now, if you've done your part at the gym, it's time to let University Plastic Surgery Group help you with that little extra push. It's called Cool Sculpting. You can freeze away the fat with the world's #1 non-invasive fat reduction procedure. University Plastic Surgery Group can help you achieve your workout goals because they're going to target the trouble areas. It's a 45 to 60-minute procedure. You can do it on your lunch hour. Keep your edge at work and look good this summer. Call 350-4858 or visit utuniversityplasticsurgeons.com today.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build your own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Now, more of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again are Dave Ocean and Brad Norsworthy.
Wow, we are having a good time here at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar, Appling Road and Highway 64. It is unbelievable. The scene in Nashville down Broadway, the ESPN Game Day crew is there. Dabo Swinney talking
I'm still going to make a pick tonight.
the moment.
So you can put on a helmet.
Man, he looks pretty fit. He
does.
Looks like a DB. It's over in Wrigley. Darn. Cubs did not sweep. They lose a heartbreaker, 2-1. I know they had a man stranded at third base twice in this game at least. Just couldn't come up with. Chris Bryant continues to struggle a little. What's happened to him?
I don't have any answers, Dave.
I thought you were going to be there for me.
Oh, I am. That's what I'm doing. I'm being,
that's what it is.
I'm being
this non-committal psychiatric kind of
reverse psychiatry.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, I want you to emote, Dave.
I want to be.
I was trying to be a listener.
I want to feel good. Let's get a winner out of here. Drew Barrett, let's reach in there and pick us out somebody who's going to get
You'll be to do it.
tickets to Music Fest. Yeah, you do it. It is Amy Reinhart. Amy Reinhart in the place.
We can call her.
If she's here, she gets a choice of what day she wants. If she's not here,
we'll call her right now.
We'll call her. There you go.
Oh, and her penmanship's great.
Yeah, it is. Amy Reinhart. If you're in the house, come on up. You won 2 tickets to Music Fest. I don't think we're going to give these tickets away.
No,
this game.
Little short notice, and the sky is not looking too good. Look at all the different jerseys represented. Every team in college jerseys represented.
Yeah. There's the Sooners.
Here's the winner.
Amy.
Decide what day.
Amy, what day would you like to go to Music Fest? Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? Saturday it is, or we are now out of Saturdays. There you go. No, I actually got another Saturday.
Way to go.
Oh, there you go. Congratulations to you. Okay. This is fun. This is fun. To tell you, register? Would you like a T-shirt? There we go. Pick out a T-shirt that will fit you, and we've already given away tickets now to Amy Reinhart and Tristan Jones.
And plenty of time to join us. We're at 2857 Appling Way. The easiest explanation is very simple. We're behind Extreme Auto Accessories on 64. Simple to find. Come by and see us. We're here until 6. The party really just gets started at that point, and they will have NFL players here tonight and tomorrow night for autographs and meet and greet. Tonight, Jonnu Smith from the Tennessee Titans, their tight end. And tomorrow night, Xavier Woods, defensive back for the Dallas Cowboys. They will be signing from 8 until 9 o'clock. All the action, all the news from the draft right here, and I mean presented in great style. Come on out to 2857 Appling Way at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar.
We've got comments today, contentious comments maybe, from Oklahoma City guard Russell Westbrook, who shrugged off criticism today, quoting, "If you want to determine my career and what I've done over 2-3 games, you go ahead. That don't mean S to me. It doesn't. I'm going to wake up. I told
I
you
can translate
before,
this, but I'm not going
three
to.
beautiful kids. I'm going to wake up, smile, be happy, enjoy my life. Doesn't change anything talk about if I'm playing bad or who's better, who's not. I know who I am as a person, and that's the biggest thing I can say about myself. I know who I am. I know what I'm able to do. I know my capabilities. I know what I've done. I know what I can and can't do. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with who I am. I'll just be blessed every day to wake up and enjoy my life.
Who's arguing with him? We know all that, but look, he plays in a team format.
He does,
and with that level of money, he's going to have criticism.
Well, you know what? It's not just that. It's the way he acts when he wins. I mean, he brings this stuff upon himself, and again, with this kind of comment, there is. Have you ever seen him actually acquiesce to somebody, or say, you know what, you make a good point, maybe I should?
And I don't know that I really want to, but I don't know why. And we knew their getaway day interviews were going to be contentious, and of course they were.
I'm not sure that team, and they've got some nice pieces, and I don't know if that comes to Billy Donovan or not.
And to my man Sam Presti.
Well, I think Presti has given them enough talent.
Boy, y'all give him a lot of leeway.
But
he's not the coach.
What moves you? I guess you could blame him for James Harden.
He let KD and James Harden go.
No, he
let Serge Ibaka go.
No, he had no choice with KD. No choice.
If he is all that, why wouldn't they sell him on that? It was more money for him to stay there. It was a better deal for him to stay there. But he wanted to go somewhere else. He wanted out of there.
KD's going to want to leave the place where he won a ring and an MVP.
That's true. He might want to leave anywhere.
Yeah. He's going to New York. Yeah. I promise you, he and Kyrie are going to be playing.
We hear every year the Knicks are going to do something
playing in the
Garden
though. Next year. This portion of the show brought to you by the Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. You got any issues? Hips, knees, shoulders, neck, or back? Hey, maybe you've got problems with Parkinson's, rheumatoid arthritis, neuropathy. It is now proven that stem cells can have a healing effect on inflammatory or autoimmune diseases. In fact, when Dr. Schrader started to do stem cell treatments, he thought there might be 3 areas stem cells would affect. Now they know it's about up to 50. He just did an education seminar. I learned a lot from that. So did a lot of people. And a lot of people are turning to this alternative. If you've got issues with the ailments I've talked about and you don't want surgery, I got an effective non-invasive procedure that will help you out. It's your own stem cells that do the work. If you're interested in finding out more, call Dr. Schrader, 901-465-4300. He's right there in Cordova, 927 Cordova Station. That's 465-4300. That's the Schrader Orthopedic and Stem Cell Treatment Center. 2 hours in the books. We talk NFL draft with Phil Savage when we come back to this beautiful place called Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar on Appling Way. This is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
The Can-Am Spring Fever event is on now with our family of off-road vehicles that are built for this. We're built for seeing the sunrise and for days lasting past sunset. We're built for trails, tasks, and tough times. And we're built to move you through what won't move. So how do you become built for this? By getting to the Spring Fever event at Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and finding a brand new Can-Am off-road vehicle for a $3,000 rebate on select 2018 models for a limited time. Certain restrictions apply, subject to credit approval. See your dealer for details.
A great restaurant makes you feel like you're in the right place from the very beginning, and there's no greater restaurant in downtown Memphis than 117 Prime, and Prime knows how to start your meal better than any other place. Starters range from the char-grilled oysters, to the roasted Brussels sprouts with Benton's bacon, to the white truffle palm frites, to the breathtaking butcher's platter, always featuring something new and special you didn't even know you were craving. Try the best crab cakes you've ever tasted. A great restaurant is great right from the start, and 117 Prime is downtown Memphis's great restaurant.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable, and serving part-time can help you graduate debt-free. Do you want to stay close to friends and family? The Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving part-time in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want. Learn more by visiting nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Tennessee Army National Guard, aired by the Tennessee Association of Broadcasters and Flynn Broadcasting.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 and 87.7 FM anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also keep up to date with everything going on by keeping up with Sports 56 on social media. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook for information on breaking news, station events, big guests, and opportunities to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Stay in touch with Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter today. Your home for the Ole Miss Rebels. Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Nice to have you aboard on this Thursday. Rain's held off. And we want to invite you to come join us at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. We're going to have a drawing at 5:30. We're going to have a drawing at, about 5:23, somewhere in there. And then another drawing right before crunch time. In both drawings, we'll give away 2 pair of Music Fest tickets. We're just having a ball here. This place, incredible. It is absolutely aptly named. It is the Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. You will love this place. You'll love the people that are in here. We've got active guys. We got a cheerleader at the bar. He's unbelievable.
He's leading the cheers.
We got the draft on the TVs, and I mean, there's a red carpet there. We got Broadway packed. I mean, this place is smoking today.
Phil Savage to talk with us next about the draft. He's been in war rooms running the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about the draft with him. This hour brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales. They specialize in late model cars, low mileage with the highest standards in the car industry at DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road. All the cars are test driven, all checked out, head to toe, unlimited inventory. When I say head to toe, I mean literally bumper to bumper and all points in between. The unlimited inventory. If it's not on the lot, they'll go out and find it for you. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales, where you're treated like family. Kind, courteous employees, laid back, down home environment. No high-pressure sales at DeSoto Auto Sales, and they care about your time. They know how busy you are. You'll walk in, walk out, get your car credit approved, and you're out in about 45 minutes. Check out the referrals online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. They're at 5704 Goodman Road, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County and have the town and country experience at DeSoto Auto Sales. Joining us now, a regular with us on Fridays during college football season, usually on Friday at 5:15. Very busy this week with his Sirius XM duties and his ESPNU and ACC and SEC duties. The co-author of Fourth and Goal Every Day, Phil Savage, joins us now, and it's great to have Phil with us. Phil, I know Dave is excited to visit with you, and we're glad to have you on. You know what it feels like hour or 2 hours out before a draft, and I love the tweets you had earlier this week, Phil, where you said you run everything by the owner, and then you let it ruminate from that point on. Good afternoon, Phil.
Good afternoon, Brad. Hope you and Dave are doing well. Yeah, we're less than 2 hours away from the Arizona Cardinals apparently going on the clock. We'll see what happens, but there's nothing like the first round of the NFL draft when you're in scouting and player personnel.
Are you nervous? Take us inside when you were with Cleveland. Did you guys have butterflies? Was it a little like before the kickoff of an NFL game? I mean, do you get really jacked up?
Well, I think there's definitely a palpable energy, and there is a degree of nervousness, anxiety, because you just never know quite what's going to happen, especially in the first round of the draft, in terms of what's going to happen ahead of you, what perhaps could happen behind you, which players you focused in on. But I would say it's more of a nervous energy because what we did in Baltimore when I was at the Ravens and what we try to do in Cleveland, opposite of the way people project these draft war rooms, as they call them, is a lot of chaos and a New York Stock Exchange type activity. We tried to be totally opposite of that. We wanted a very quiet, controlled draft room where we were confident in all of the work that had been put in, going back to last summer, and then certainly in the last few weeks as you make those final plans and try to strategize what you want to do to make your team the very best it can be.
We know, as you said, Arizona in 2 hours will be on the clock. They've known they've got the first pick. They didn't trade it. We know they are in control. They have to know at this point they're going whatever way they're going. Is it going to be Kyler Murray?
I think most of us that follow the draft have thought that was going to be the marriage between Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury, the new coach there, because of the idea that he really is a niche quarterback. He needs to go to a spread-type system. Kingsbury's coming from the college level and seemingly will put in that kind of system. But I would say that over the weekend and certainly in the first 4 days of this week leading into tonight, with Arizona having the mini camp that you are allowed to have as a new coaching staff, it's a bonus camp essentially. I think Cliff Kingsbury has been swayed to some extent. I think he's been impressed by Josh Rosen in the classroom and on the field. And if you really think about it, if there's a real trust in the general manager, Steve Keim, by Cliff Kingsbury, then he has to believe that Keim and company knew what they were doing last year when they moved up to take Josh Rosen in the top 10. I think that they could take Quentin Williams or Nick Bosa number 1 now.
Wow.
And be satisfied with what they have in Josh Rosen. He's got 13 starts under his belt. He showed that he was tough enough. He got sacked 45 times in 13 games with virtually nothing around him. And they've already paid him. And what better way to improve your team than get a quarterback who's going into his second year and add a preeminent defensive player to the mix? So I won't be surprised at all if in 2 hours we hear that it's Quentin Williams or Nick Bosa at number 1 and Kyler Murray slides some in this draft.
That would really shake things up. All right, let's say, Phil, that happens, and Kyler Murray is not the first player taken. How long does he sit, and how awkward does that green room get if he sits a while?
Well, I think it would get fairly awkward. I could see, a team maybe coming into the 3rd spot where the Jets are, perhaps the 4th spot where the Raiders are, to maybe get their hands on Murray. But I'll be honest, guys, as dynamic of a playmaker that Kyler Murray is, you have to be all in as an organization to play that style of football. And when you look through the annals of history in the National Football League, you can't find a team that really ran a spread system with the smallest quarterback that's won a Super Bowl. It just has not happened. And so you're defying history by trying to make it happen in this case. Now, will they sell tickets and will he be an exciting player in the NFL? I don't think there's any question about that. But to go win the Lombardi Trophy, I still think that it's more of a traditional approach. I mean, we saw New England this year win it, obviously, with a 41-year-old quarterback. So people will point to Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. They had a running game and a superior defense, and Wilson, made enough plays with his legs and is an accurate passer from the pocket despite his size. But he had a lot of things around him that the Cardinals really don't have right now. So I don't know the answer to your question, Brett, other than to say that if it's not Arizona at number 1 for Murray, I'm not sure where his landing spot will really be.
Wow. So if there's not a team that would trade up, Washington appears to be at 8. The next team that would want a quarterback, would they want Haskins or Locke or Jones from Duke, the kid from Duke, over Murray? Could Murray actually slip out of the first round and go back to baseball?
And once upon a time, Daniel Snyder, the owner of Washington, he really loved Robert Griffin, whose game is more similar to Kyler Murray than any of those first-round quarterbacks.
Well, what's really interesting about this conversation is the fact that if Kyler Murray truly went on a slide, he could conceivably move on to baseball. And one thing that happens in the draft, particularly in the first round, especially those teams that are like from 10 to 20, they sort of get married to players that they think are going to be there. And then when there is a surprise, a guy starts to drop, it's like, well, wait a minute. We've sort of built our mindset around the idea that we were going to take Dwayne Haskins or Daniel Jones. And Kyler Murray is such a different player compared to those guys. Would they be willing to switch and go to him? Is he truly higher rated on their board than guys that they may consider it at 13, say Miami, or 15 with the Redskins, or maybe even the Giants at 17? That's their second first rounder. So, hey, all of this might be just radio talk if the Cardinals turn in the card on Kyler Murray. But I just get the sense that it's not quite as 100% a certainty as what people made it out to be over the last number of months.
Phil, we know the SEC will be well represented tonight. In this number I saw earlier today, Nick Saban, since he's been at Alabama, 12 years at Alabama, he's had more first-round draft choices, 26, than he's had losses in games, 21. You wrote about it. You've seen it. That's just a mind-boggling number, and it'll only grow tonight. 26 first-round draft picks and 21 losses in 12 years.
Well, those kind of things are kind of interrelated, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Not going to lose many games, and it's amazing what has been done there. You go back to the year before Nick Saban arrived. Alabama had one draft pick, McLean, the fullback, who was like a fourth rounder to Baltimore. And then since that time, it's been an unprecedented run for Alabama in terms of the production of first rounders. I think they've had 77 overall choices during Nick Saban's tenure there in Tuscaloosa. And they're certainly going to add a couple tonight. Quinnen Williams, Jonah Williams, maybe Josh Jacobs, perhaps even Irv Smith Jr. Slipping in the first round. So they're going to have at least two and maybe end up with four.
You were talking about Bosa or Williams, the Alabama tackle. Bosa has been rated by a lot of these mocks as the number one overall prospect this year. You buy that, or would you take Quinnen Williams, who there's not an ounce of fat on that dude. I mean, he is built like a Adonis.
Dave, I think it really depends on what you're looking for. If you had a need at defensive end, I think you would have Bosa over Williams. But universally speaking, across the whole league, these defensive linemen that have pass rush ability on the inside, they're really difficult to find. And so I think I would have Quinnen rated over Nick Bosa at this particular time, just because also of the recent history. He's coming off a phenomenal year at Alabama. With 80 tackles and 7 or 8 sacks. Bosa obviously only played 3 games and, is coming into the league after this core surgery that he had back in the fall. All that checks out. But, I just tend to think that the inside disruptor is just a little bit more difficult to find than the edge pass rusher. So I think I would value Quinnen Williams over Nick Bosa. And I'd say the other player who's somewhat, in you guys' backyard, and that is Jeffrey Simmons. He's most likely gonna go behind Montez Sweat. But I know during the football season in the fall, before he sustained this ACL injury, that people liked him more than Montez Sweat. I think he's a top 10 talent. Somebody's going to get an incredible value somewhere, in the second half of the first round tonight.
We're talking with Phil Savage, who used to do this thing for the Cleveland Browns that all the NFL is going to do tonight on a packed Broadway with a stage there with in front of about 100,000 people. I got to ask you a little bit about the University of Memphis. They got 3 guys. I don't think anybody's going tonight. We'd love it if Darrell Henderson went, but there's Henderson, there's Pollard, and there's an offensive lineman named Trevon Tate. What's your sense of those 3 all getting drafted this year? I think it would be the first time the Tigers would have 3 guys drafted since the early 2000s.
Well, I think that, obviously there's a good possibility of that happening. For sure in the last 11 months for me, I've been focused on the Alliance of American Football and the Arizona Hotsots. And, just to be completely transparent here, other than the running back, I'm not as familiar with the other players who are seen as, more third-day type draft choices for these teams. So, unfortunately, I can't really give you an accurate answer on that one because I've just been trying to play catch-up on these first few rounds to be able to at least have some ability to talk about these prospects after the Alliance collapsed on April the 2nd.
But you like Darrell Henderson as most signed up for that, right?
Yeah, and I think that the topic of conversation surrounding him is just the fact that tonight we probably will only have one running back, if that, and Josh Jacobs go in the first round. And Henderson's the kind of guy that's going to go later in the draft, from the third round on, that could ultimately find a home and be very productive in the NFL. I think the league in general feels like if you can find a runner almost at any juncture in the draft and even post-draft. Remember last year, Philip Lindsay was a free agent, went to the Broncos. Yeah. He rushed for over 1,000 yards, ended up in the Pro Bowl. And so I think that's why you see other positions pushed up the board. And unless you're a Leonard Fournette or an Ezekiel Elliott, it's just really difficult for a back to go in the top 10 anymore.
Phil, kind of a college football question in the broad. We talked about the Alabama first-round success and the obvious success of Coach Saban in that program, but we got to give credit to the Clemson Tigers. They have caught them for right now. They have. With the win this last year, the win a few years ago, you got to give credit to Clemson. But as the rest of college football, the Big Ten, Pac-12, the rest of the SEC West, the SEC East, is anybody else catching up with Alabama? Clemson, let's give them credit, but is anybody else catching up with them?
Yeah, I think outside of Bama and Clemson, I think there's a real gap between those two teams and really everybody else. I mean, clearly Oklahoma's had some success, but they have not produced the defensive talent that Bama and Clemson have. Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher, they seem to be on the uptick, but they don't have the defensive players of that caliber. Tonight Clemson could conceivably have 3 defensive linemen taken in the first round. Yeah. And, that's Alabama level. And so between those two teams, even Ohio State, they're going to have Nick Bosa go tonight in the top 3 or 4. But outside of him, they really don't have another defensive player that's going. And to me, that's the difference between Bama and Clemson and everybody else. While all these other schools produce offensive talent and the defensive player here or there, nobody is producing the kind of ability that we see particularly in the front 7 of these two teams. And I think Dabo, in watching Alabama, understands that it's all about defensive line play and quarterback play. And this time next year, we're going to be talking about Tua Tagovailoa for Alabama. And the next year, we're going to be talking about Trevor Lawrence from Clemson.
Yep.
And both schools are still going to be producing defensive linemen at a high rate. Next year, it's going to be, of course, Raekwon Davis from Alabama will be a guy that most likely will be on site at the draft as a first-round choice.
I want to go back to your commentary on running backs because I've been in this philosophy mode here the last 4 or 5 years. And I wonder, and you would be the best to know because you did it in the AAF and you know the NFL, do we devalue the running back position simply because we don't run the ball as much anymore? Because if you're a combo back, you can still be pretty valuable. Or do we do that because the longevity of the position is under 3 years? Why have we devalued running back so much?
I think part of it, Dave, is just the way football is played now in the NFL. Very few teams have, their bell cow that's out there going to run it 300-plus times and catch 70 or 80 passes. They've divvied up those jobs in terms of the substitute era of football. And, you mentioned longevity. Most of these teams that take a running back, particularly in the first round, are basically saying, you know what, we think he's going to be a one-contract player, and that's okay. We've come to the conclusion that, we don't even know if we'll be here 7 or 8 years from now, but over the next 2 or 3 years, we believe we will be, and this guy can help us win games. So, it's definitely a short-term type of pick. And then you mentioned the idea of not only longevity across seasons, but how about over a 16-game schedule? It's really tough to keep these guys healthy when they're touching the ball 30 times a game. And you've seen that happen in New Orleans where they've, divided the reps between Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara in recent years. And now Ingram moves on and they go get Latavius Murray from Minnesota to take over the Ingram role. So they just parse it out so much in the NFL now that it's not worth the investment in the top 10 or even in the first round, because these other guys are going to be drafted. And for the most part, they're all 3 and 4 down players that are going to be on the field every time the ball snaps.
It is a delight chatting with you, Phil Savage, and I can't wait for football season to start to do it more often. Thank you so much for all your insight today.
Dave, I appreciate it. Brett, it's always great to catch up. And I promise you guys, if I'm in this chair next year, I'm going to know the Memphis Tigers better than I know them right now.
It's okay, Phil.
It's all right, buddy.
We know you've had a hurricane the last few months and weeks, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Good deal, guys. Thanks.
You got it.
What am I watching here on these big screens?
You see D'Angelo.
D'Angelo Williams and Vince Wilfork are dressed up as what? What is that? Is it some sort of Elvis Presley garb? It's brought to you by Bridgestone. He's got a Bridgestone scarf. I do not know what that jumpsuit represents, but he looks good. Good for you, D'Angelo. I hope Bridgestone's paying him to be there. That's all I could say. We got to give away 2 tickets, 2 sets of tickets to Music Fest from our drawing box. You still got time to get here. We are having a lot of fun here at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. Just opened today, and you can't help but love this place. Come in, see us. We're going to draw 2 out here in a minute, and then we're going to draw 2 more right before crunch time. In the meantime, let me remind everybody this portion of the show is brought to you by Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. That is the place you want to go, because that's the place they do car business the right way. That is where you can get my car, a Santa Fe, and be assured 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. I feel like there's no way I'm going to have any problems with this car once I've committed to it for 10 years. Now, who else can say that? And they got the shopper assurance. That is Chris True, their general manager's brainchild, that includes transparent pricing, flexible test drive, in and out process for buying. You're not there all day. And the best thing, 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy the car, suddenly you feel bad about something, you're not sure about something, don't worry. Exchange the car. It's that simple. Just find out for yourself. Get on Lamar, get into Mississippi, exit 1's Craft Road, turn left, see all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai in Olive Branch. Drew reaches in, and Drew has picked Taryn Tabor. Have we got Taryn Tabor in the house? Taryn Tabor has won a pair of tickets to Music Fest. And, Brett, you tell me.
Darice Johnson.
So, Taryn Tabor, and Darice Johnson, you guys have won tickets to Music Fest.
We'll call them.
They could be in the house. If they're here, they get a choice. If not, I'm not sure if they'll get Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. It all works out well in the long run. Let's take a pretty quick timeout. When we come back, we've got more to chew on, and in just a little bit, we've got crunch time. It's all part of Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
The Tigers, the Grizzlies, the SEC. We are real sports talk.
I love it.
Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test-driven, checked out from head to toe. Unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
Are you tired of all the clouds and bad weather? Rain brings pollutants that can wreak havoc on your car's finish, but there is someone who can help. Car Wash USA Express has introduced their most advanced car wash yet with the exclusive Polymer Pro wash, creating a stronger, more consistent protective sealant for your car's finish. Polymer Pro can only be found at Car Wash USA Express, where attendants are always on duty to keep you and your vehicle safe. For more information and locations, visit carwashusaexpress.com. Car Wash USA Express, because a dirty car is a dirty shame.
The Can-Am Spring Fever event is on now with our family of off-road vehicles that are built for this. We're built for seeing the sunrise and for days lasting past sunset. We're built for trails, tasks, and tough times. And we're built to move you through what won't move. So how do you become built for this? By getting to the Spring Fever event at Olive Branch Motorsports, 5656 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and finding a brand new Can-Am off-road vehicle for a $3,000 rebate on select 2018 models for a limited time. Certain restrictions apply, subject to credit approval. See your dealer for details.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brad Norsworthy.
Welcome back in. Nice to have you aboard. It's starting to rain now. It held off for quite a while. Boy, the weekend is going to be gorgeous. Absolutely
I think I'm going to do soccer Saturday night.
Really? Well, will you come up to the booth and say hello? I'm doing the game on Channel 30.
I know you are. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm going to practice tomorrow.
I think it'll be first outdoor. You went Allen Iverson on me there, didn't you?
I did.
I think it'll be first outdoor soccer game for me.
Since what? The
79?
Memphis Rogues? 79, the Rogues?
Yeah.
Really?
78 or 79?
I'm stunned that hasn't been like a bucket list thing.
Well, we had a team.
To go see. Well, you could have gone to see the.
Oh,
what did they used to call it? The soccer bowl.
No. All right. You know, we had.
How come I had a World Cup game?
I was getting ready to. That's where I'm going. This may be a legitimate Drew July show if we ever finally have one of the much talked about July shows. We talk about bucket lists, but how about that bucket list of regret that you had a shot to go to?
Oh,
the two dumbest things I've ever done in my life. My buddy Joe Klein owned the Olympic team in 1984. I could stay with him at the Olympic Village.
Really?
He's going to put me up.
No way.
I had to get
Had
to get to Los Angeles.
I was there. I was there in Los Angeles.
Couldn't do it
for the '84 Olympics.
Then in '94, and I'd just been to a summertime. I don't know if it was Lollapalooza, but I'd been the designated driver to an event with a crew from Little Rock, and I wasn't about to sign up for that duty again, and passed on being the designated driver from Little Rock to Dallas for World Cup at the Cotton Bowl in '94.
Well, you could have gone to your old favorite haunts. That's why they redid the press box at Legion Field, because they had a World Cup game there.
They were headed to Dallas.
That might have been the women's game, though. That might have been a women's World Cup game.
I don't know that Birmingham did men's World Cup.
They
94.
definitely had a World Cup game, but I can't remember if it was men or
women. Legion
women.
Field also hosted some of the '96 Olympics. That might have been it. They might have had some soccer for 96 Atlanta at Legion Field.
That maybe is what it was.
I think that's what it was.
That's maybe what it was.
But, you know, the United
somebody
States
knows. Text us.
We host World Cup in 2030. It's coming back here.
Is that long?
But it's going to be the North American thing.
Right.
It's
Canada, Mexico, and the United States.
But in 94, to pass up and to go to the Cotton Bowl, I love, and you know how much I love the venerable Cotton Bowl Stadium at Fair Park.
I've been there.
So we may have to do the bucket list of regret that you had a legit shot to go to and you passed.
I'm regretting again that a week from Saturday, I could be in a pristine box looking at lovely ladies in $500 to $1,000 hats.
Why'd you pass? I'll give you Friday off.
Because I didn't call Gary Rodemeyer and get it set up. I'm sure by now he's got family and everybody else in the world.
And Dave, I know you didn't. Why didn't you go to any of those Cub World Series games in 2016? You're going to get another shot. You're going to get it soon. I'm not being facetious.
Yeah.
You're going to get another shot. But that was
you know what? It's just expense. That's what it was.
Come on.
No. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much it was? It was a couple of grand. Now I couldn't go
when you didn't go. What's that money gonna mean?
I couldn't go without both sons. Now it's $6,000 for a game.
Okay, but if you have to sign up with both sons.
Oh, are you kidding
me? Running into huge, yeah. Because the one that doesn't go disowned you, and you
I don't know.
Someday.
I'm not sure if you ever. I think you met my stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lori.
Yeah.
When the Bears, because he was literally a 50-year season ticket holder of the Chicago Bears, all the way back to Wrigley Field. And when the Bears made the Super Bowl,
down in Miami, the Lovie Smith Super Bowl.
Yeah, the
Rex Grossman Super Bowl.
I really wanted to take him.
Yeah,
and of course I had to bring both boys. The tickets
that's running.
That was like a $20,000 deal. I could buy that's a couple of years of college for these kids.
See, when I leave, I'm taking my whole family with me. It's one of us, but you do run into a problem there. But I couldn't believe in 2016 you didn't wedge a game in.
Well, I probably should have exerted a little bit more pressure on people that I knew that could have maybe gotten me some tickets.
You know, for a long time, the traveling secretary of the Cubs was a Memphian, but he retired.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was it?
Young Burt Bank. His dad was legendary Alabama broadcasting figure. Yeah, he was traveling, and he lived here with his mom after his parents divorced. But yeah, he was kind of from here. And that's not even a title people have anymore. That title has been done.
Traveling secretary?
Yeah, nobody calls him that anymore.
What do they call him now? They got to have that function.
Travel coordinator.
Yeah, that's it.
But they took that out.
Director of ops. That's what they call
something.
it. Yeah. Huh. Well, it was a sad day for the Cubs today. 2-1. Now you're got 2.5.
Best record in baseball, Dave. Best record
in National League.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think, what is it, Seattle got you?
And a day off. No, who out?
Tampa
and someone else out west, I think, with a little better percentage.
Yeah, Seattle lost 5 in a row after they had that 13-2 start.
Yeah, well, the Astros, here they come.
Well, that's not – are you surprised at that?
None.
No.
Not at all. And tonight, a great matchup of two college teammates, two UCLA Bruins. You got Trevor Bauer going for Cleveland against Garrett Cole for the Astros. And we both picked Cole to be our National League Cy Young winner. And his stuff has been very, very average. He's 1-3, and he needs to pick it up tonight.
We are getting some news also from New York today in the federal trial that has put college basketball on front and center stage. Videos
How front and center, though, Dave?
Well,
it's not screaming headlines, is it?
Video showed cash exchanged in a posh Las Vegas hotel room where college basketball coaches cycled in and out in the tail of $11,000 stuffed into a shoe and sent to a student athlete were among the evidence presented on Thursday to the jury in the college basketball corruption trial.
Okay, there's a headline. It's there at all the sites. But anybody leading any news with it? I mean, tonight in Raleigh-Durham, or tonight in Lexington, tonight in any of the places that have been somewhat insinuated alluded to.
Well,
is that leading local sports?
Not here.
But in those places.
Well, it might be in Duke. So the
not.
undercover video recordings with coaches and testimony also revealed interesting highlights, including a discussion that Clemson assistant coach Steve Smith said he had with the father of Zion Williamson. In the video, Smith and Dawkins talked about the struggle to compete with schools like North Carolina, Kentucky, and Duke, where Williamson was enrolled.
Our buddy Kevin Sweeney joined us all college basketball season to talk hoops with us. He had an interesting tweet, tongue firmly planted in cheek today, being facetious. He tweeted, wow, that all these guys who teams tried to cheat for ended up going to Duke and Kentucky. Kids really must love playing for free.
Yeah, right.
They got them all, and all of this again, not an NCAA inquiry, not something going on at the offices in Indianapolis. Federal trial with cross-examination. I mean, sworn testimony and all these offers, and everybody just decided to go to Duke and Kentucky for the heck of it.
Sure, they didn't want money, right?
No.
Well, we'll see. I actually thought there would have been more movement.
Won't anything come from it?
But you're so convinced, and I'm not. I think there still will be some ramifications down the road.
Any long term? Because we've had scandals as long as we've had college
What
sports.
if we see, and I'm doing this supposing, but what if you watch Bill Self leave the college game to go to the NBA and be the coach in waiting for Pop, like some of these scenarios are painted.
What a tough penalty. Well, he really paid, didn't he?
You're right, but there is a change. There's a ramification. He's just getting out before it gets blown up.
Lucky he's not going to jail.
Right.
I mean, by now, didn't we think Pitino would stand before a magistrate and really be in some real trouble? And the thing he's most mad about is he didn't get Vegas and St. John's.
Well, that he's stuck coaching in Europe.
Yeah. I mean, there's been a whole lot of allegation and a whole lot of, I think, meat and potatoes, serious stuff, but not anybody paying a big price. In 2 and 3 years from now, much like U of L, they're rolling.
Well, if you don't think Jurich and Pitino
paid a price, but did the brand Louisville Cardinals pay a price? They didn't get kicked out of the ACC.
No. I mean, but wait a second. Should they? Are you telling me
No, I don't think
they should be tossed?
No,
because they hired some unscrupulous guys.
But just contrast it with the Laramie Tunsil major allegation was a $300 light bill.
Right.
And we got $11K today in shoes.
Right.
And Ole Miss program practically burned down.
Ole Miss, and they're still paying the price.
Yes.
Ole Miss football is still paying the price from what occurred 3 years ago.
Or longer. Yeah.
So that's not right either. I'm not saying it is. But I can't believe they're just going to sweep everything under the table.
This is federal.
You've got evidence here.
This is federal jurisdiction. But I still think Ole Miss has got a case for being wrong. But the one maybe bigger than that is the biggest name possibly in intercollegiate sports, Notre Dame. The NCAA never finds any of that stuff. Notre Dame said, look, in the spirit of full disclosure with our compliance department to be a good dues-paying member of the NCAA, here's what we did wrong. They never find it independent of that. Got no relief. Got the book and the book shelves thrown at them for it. So why ever be cooperative again? LSU kind of stood its ground against the NCAA in the last 6 weeks.
I don't understand that unless they're dotting I's and crossing T's or hoping they can still get a good recruiting class out of this before they let Will Wade go.
Now, here's the rub.
Which would be pretty unethical, too, if that was the case.
And every administrator in the athletics department, and for sure every provost, chancellor, the people that run the real school will tell you, you be agreeable, you be compliant, because if you don't, then legitimate maybe kicked out of a league or death penalty could occur because you were recalcitrant and not agreeable. So you can't really do that if you're some people. But if you're others, you can stand your ground.
We are having a good time, and now the sun's it's still raining, but it's lightening up a little bit out there. We want you to join us at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. We are at 2857 Appling Way. Basically, you still got time. We're going to hang around for a little bit when this is over. You make a right on Appling, from Appling onto Highway 64. The very next right, make a right. I think it's called Appling Way. And you'll find it right on your right. You cannot miss it. You'll see our Sports 56 van right outside. We'll stick around and chat with you a little bit. When we come back, we are going to give away our final 2 tickets to Music Fest. We're still looking, by the way, for Amy Reinhardt.
No, we got them. We've got some we're looking for. We're going to call them.
We are still looking for
Darice Johnson and Taryn Tabor. We're going to call them.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll let you know. This portion of the show brought to you by Campbell Clinic. We love talking Campbell Clinic, both you and I. And we're going to learn some more new things. Have you seen the expansion that they're doing in Germantown?
It's phenomenal.
I think it's 3 times bigger than what it is right now.
Dave, when we talk about it, when we say revolutionary, when we say wrote the book, when we say groundbreaking, forerunner, and they have been for 2 centuries, over the course of 2 centuries.
They have. When we say they've written the manuals on procedures used around the world, we're not kidding. And then you can actually see those guys if you've got anything urgent without an appointment. And now there's 5 places to see them. The aforementioned Germantown. We're talking South Haven. We're talking downtown. We're talking Cordova. We're talking Collierville. And by the way, you can get in at Collierville. Some people think that place is always packed. You can get in. All you got to do is go. If you've got a sprained strain or a break, right to the doctors that can get you on the road to the recovery. Same guys that do the Grizzlies, the Tigers, the Redbirds. You don't need an appointment. You can do it with Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or even Campbell Clinic After Hours. Don't wait. Get help from the guys that can get you on the road to recovery at Campbell Clinic.
One other afternoon baseball score, the Diamondbacks playing much better. They were 5-1 winners earlier today. Not a lot of afternoon games today, most of it tonight.
Cardinals are off.
Cardinals are off until tomorrow night. 3-game homestand this weekend for the Cardinals against the Reds. 5-zip Diamondbacks over the Pirates. As we've talked about a couple of times, Dodgers.
Well, that's good for you for the Pirates to lose.
Yeah, but it's early. It's always early in baseball. Heck, Labor Day weekend, we're always saying it's still a lot of baseball to play.
Labor Day, if the Cardinals are in first place, then
you're going to give?
Then you can say something.
Is that when you wave the white flag?
Because that could be neck and neck. Coming into today, they were 1-2.
Next weekend, first matchup of the year for the Cardinals and Cubs on the north side of Chicago. Next weekend, Kentucky Derby weekend.
That's very appropriate because those blue colors will be coming out.
I'm looking forward to visiting with Paul Rogers next week. I'm sure we'll have him, next Friday?
Yes.
The day before the Derby.
We normally have him on Friday, but you know what? I got to check his schedule because
it's
afternoon. It's a little different.
A lot of duties.
It could be Thursday or Friday, but he'll be definitely on. We've got to take a time out. When we do come back, it'll be time for crunch time and 2 more drawings. We'll do that before crunch time. Oh, yeah, we're busy and we're having fun right here at the Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar on Appling. Come see us while you got a chance. And this is Sports Time with Wolo and Stats.
Start your day with a Peter at Mestin experience with CJ Hertz right here on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
The circumstances of our lives are never as important as our attitudes toward those circumstances. Laurel Lee is the would-be victim of Hodgkin's disease, who has demonstrated this fact throughout her life. She has written at least 2 books, both recording her feelings, thoughts, and observations as she has walked through the valley of the shadow of death. She likened the choices of life to standing before a button panel. You know, the push button for bitterness, resentment, or self-pity. Or you can push the up button and draw closer to God, closer to others, and be a better person. It's always an act of the will, a will beyond emotions or what you feel like doing. Choosing is crucial, deciding to push the up button of life. What we need to remember is that the circumstances of our lives are never as important as our attitudes towards those circumstances. I'm Shane Stanford with Christ Church Memphis. You matter.
Visit ChristchurchMemphis.org.
Hey, everybody. If I said who wants a hot new Silverado right now, how many hands are going up? And if your hand's up, you need to be where I am right now, the Chevy testing ground for Silverados and all Chevys right here at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. And it just so happens to be Chevy Truck Month right now. So get your butt down here and check out all the deals like financing at 0 for 72. Most have cash back for you. And they have the best testing ground in the Mid-South. Drive them on highways, on back roads, so you know what you want. Don't believe me? It's cool. Ask Zach Myers of Shinedown. That's right. Shinedown's Zach Myers is loving life in his All-Star Chevy, and you can meet him too. Test drive any All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch by April 30th, and you could register to win tickets to be up close and personal backstage with a meet and greet with Zach Myers and Shinedown at Music Fest May 3rd. Just tell them Zach Myers sent you for your chance to win tickets to be up close and personal with Shinedown May 3rd at Music Fest. So don't waste your time. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
Welcome back to Sports Time with Wolo and Stats on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports Time is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales. Here once again are Dave Wolosian and Brett Norsworthy.
You know who's going to do the drawing this last round? You are.
I will. Yeah, I'll make two people very happy.
There we go.
We are at Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. We're giving away.
You remember Melissa Stark on Monday Night Football?
Tickets,
when Dennis Miller was in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. Right.
And it was always cringeworthy when he would call her Missy. Remember? I guarantee you couldn't get away with it. You couldn't get away with that now, throwing it down to the sideline and go, hey, Missy, do your thing.
I got to tell you.
It was offensive then.
I have a sister-in-law whose name is Melissa. We call her Missy.
Well, that may be that, but you could tell that she didn't like it. I don't think you would do it now.
If she didn't like it, you wouldn't do it.
No.
I'll say this much. She's aged beautifully.
Yeah.
She's aged better than Dennis Miller.
All right, let's draw.
All right, it is time to give away. Well, let's let
few more rest.
We'll let these last people come in, and I'll let you know. This portion of the show is brought to you by something as sweet as winning tickets to Music Fest. That's Dinstall's. Dinstall's in Pleasant View, Dinstall's in Germantown, Dinstall's in Laurelwood. Oh, and then there's Dinstall's in Collierville, the newest. 4 locations now with which to get the signature candy in all of Memphis. That could be the milk chocolate. It could be the cashew crunch. It could be the strawberries. Nobody does strawberries like they do at Dinstall's. And, oh, by the way, they sold so many chocolate bunnies and eggs for Easter. It's a beautiful thing. People realize, when you talk about Pringo Mints, you're talking about Marshall Fields in Chicago. When you talk about See's Candy, you're talking about Toffee in San Francisco. It's that simple. This is the candy of the Mid-South. It's Dinstall's. You got 4 locations to do it. Let's make this drawing really, really quick here. I'm reaching in.
All the suspense Kyler Murray said.
Here's the first one I give to you. Here's the second I give to
Miles. Right here.
Miles, you've won.
You registered as Miles.
How about this one? Gary McCord. I promise you that's his name.
Gary McCord's in the
house.
All right, Miles.
Miles, you've won tickets.
We're going to get your license plate number when you just registered as one name.
What do you want, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday? Music Fest.
Take your pick. Friday night, you got it. Gary McCord.
There it is, Friday. There you go. And Gary McCord gets the other one. I don't know where Gary is, but we'll call him. Drew, here are these for you. And without any further ado, it's time for Crunch Time
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time.
Guys, can take off your caps, please.
The Alliance.
You can feel the excitement.
You cannot play with them.
You are looking live.
It's crunch time.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
Cannot win with them.
In your life have you seen anything like that?
We'll take questions again for the student athletes at this time, please. What would you think when you think about this game with
He's a professional. He's pretty classy for his age.
Cannot coach with him.
In the crunch time, that's the frustrating part. Little Penny could make some appearances this year.
Okay, I'm not huge into stats.
Has it always been this way?
It's crunch time, so I got a different mind state.
What's happening, big dog? How you doing?
Is this thing working?
Immediately when the buzzer sounds, he lets out this shriek.
You throw those ears forward. He was in stroke mode.
Not really too worried of what they put on Snap Face, Instant Shot, or whatever it is.
Can't do it.
It's obviously crunch time.
It's time for Crunch Time, brought to you by Taco Bell, home of the Crunch Wrap, including the Crunch Wrap Supreme, a warm, soft flour tortilla that's filled with seasoned beef and jam-packed with warm nacho cheese sauce with a crunchy tostada shell with sour cream, lettuce, and tomato. Then it's all wrapped up, and it will fill up your stomach. It will fit in your hand, but it won't take a lot out of your wallet. Perfect on your way home tonight. The Crunch Wrap Supreme, you can only get at Taco Bell. Taco Bell, the home of the Crunch Wrap, and each and every day they bring us Taco Bell Crunch Time. Dave, what have you learned today?
Well, I learned that we have one heck of a Tennessee Hall of Fame 2019 class, including Peyton Manning, Charles Davis, my favorite, and I got to get him on, Kippy Brown, Patrick Willis, Carl Lawson, and there's a whole bunch more, but these are the headliners. I think that is really cool.
I've got about 4 favorites in that class. What a great class. I learned today that number that I threw out to Phil Savage. Since Nick Saban's been at Alabama, he's been there 12 years. He's got 26 first-round NFL draft picks, only 21 losses. Also learned today through 32 games for NBA playoffs, through the first 32 NBA game playoffs, 27 have fallen in ratings over last year, 24 multi-year lows. The only games that are really drawing well are ABC games. Could have done without what?
I could have done without the Cubs losing 2-1 to the Dodgers. Now they're only a game over 500. They slipped to 2.5 back behind the St. Louis Cardinals. I guess I could have done without it. Without any ramifications that we see clearly, the talk and the videos of $11,000 in a shoe to a kid and all the other stuff, I'd love to know where this is leading with the federal trial.
Dave, I would love to know, does it really bother sports fans? I don't know that it bothers us, us collectively.
Do you think us collectively have accepted all the skullduggery and the cheating?
Whether we've accepted or not, I don't know that we care anymore. I think we want to go to the games, be entertained, and it's baked in the cake. And whatever skullduggery is going on, you're keeping up. You're getting it as good as you're giving it. But it's not fair then when they have selective justice. I could have done without last night. It wasn't entirely their fault. He did get thrown at, but Reese Hoskins then takes the cruise around the bases. There's a lot going on every night with the Phillies. They're in the middle of some stuff. Now, last night it was not entirely their fault. I don't blame him a little bit for the cruise he was on after being thrown at the night before. But with a lot of teams, the Phillies have a lot of stuff going on. What do you keep an eye on today?
Well, I'm going to go back to that. I watched a bunch of that. I watched the highlights. First of all, you got to know that the guy who flipped the bat was thrown at twice by the reliever the night before.
He was.
He was making a point. If you're going to throw at somebody, then you should be able to take it.
But the Phillies and Kepler, they find and stir some of that. Now, again, last night was not all their fault. What do you keep an eye on tonight?
I'm keeping an eye on NFL draft.
We're going to be here a while.
Is there anything else? Is there anything else to watch?
Well, there's some NBA out there tonight. We'll watch NBA.
What at NBA? I thought the
Nuggets and Spurs tonight.
Oh, that's right.
Nuggets. I'm going to keep an eye on it. The Nuggets can really maybe put the end to the 20-year pop run and end it in San Antonio. We talk about retirements. We mentioned earlier that it wouldn't shock any of us if Steve Kerr walked away. I don't think it's breaking news if Greg Popovich stepped away at the end of this year.
Well, he'd still be the head coach of
USA
USA
basketball, but not of the Spurs.
I don't know that he's going away. And,
I don't either.
And it
wouldn't shock
doesn't
me.
it doesn't end anything because they made the playoffs.
That's right. They keep that streak going. Aaron Nola on the mound for those fields we talked about. He needs to get that ERA down. It's near 7. Really good pitching prospect for the Phillies at LSU. Had a great year last year. Great pitching matchup I mentioned earlier. Cleveland and Houston, Trevor Bauer and Garrett Cole, 2 UCLA teammates. Rangers at Seattle. Late, mentioned the Nuggets and Pop going against Pop and the Spurs tonight. And also tonight, draft. How many quarterbacks in the first round? Would it get ugly if Kyler Murray had to sit in that green room till they came and kind of moved him, or does his name come off the board really early?
Well, wait a second. I don't know, but Phil Savage makes a good point. If the Cardinals don't take him, and I think they're going to, but if the Cardinals don't take him, he's not the next quarterback. I don't think he is, because I agree with Savage. Mm-hmm. I think he fits what Kingsbury wants to do.
But not much else.
But does he fit all these other slots?
I love Haskins at Ohio State.
Does he fit Washington, or does Haskins fit better? Does he fit the New York Giants, or does Jones
what about Drew Lock?
Fit better? Drew Lock is more the prototype NFL guy. If he sits, if he does not get picked by the Cardinals, does he go to the second round, and then does he think about baseball again?
I don't know. He kind of broke it off with the A's on not too good a style. He ended it with them, but it'll be in about an hour. He'll either be the first pick, or it could be a really uncomfortable night at the draft for him tonight.
We have so many people that we want to thank. It starts with Chris Raby. We talked hockey and baseball with him. Hank McDowell for coming on by. Tom Bowen, who gave us a lot of hope. How about all the way out to 2029 and P5 announcements on the football schedule coming? Oh, that got me all fired up. We want to thank Phil Savage for all of his insight. That is
Drew.
For sure.
Thank Gabe.
Yeah. Got to thank Gabe Kuhn, who did a great job back, and Drew Barrett, who came and set everything up, and he's going to take everything down. Peter Edmiston tomorrow. Bob Carpenter tomorrow, Bruce Marshall tomorrow,
something
Tim
on the draft.
Doolin tomorrow,
Doolin,
a lot on the draft tomorrow, maybe some more surprises. You never know. Thanks to all the people here, and you got to come see this place from Next Level Sports and Cigar Bar. This is the new thing, I promise. We thank you all. We'll do it all again tomorrow afternoon. Have a great night, everybody.
I'm here with the Rendezvous's first female waitress, Joanna McKee. First thing, how was it being the first female waitress at such a legendary place?
I have to say it was pretty awesome, but it's also nice to be sharing the spotlight now.
I hear things have changed regarding reservations at the Rendezvous.
They have. Last December, we started taking reservations for parties of 8 or more, and that was a really big hit, so we've been doing it ever since.
Nice, Joanna.
Yeah, we're just trying to make it easier for people to come down here. We also are doing something great called valet parking. So we subsidize with the valet parking companies to try to keep the price down. It's only $8, which is really cheaper than most of the parking garages in our area.
What about picking up food to go? Where can one park for that? Do you have to pay for parking?
You do not have to pay to park. You just pull into the alley, pull up to the parking sign, put on your flashers, and we'll have you in and out in about 10 minutes.
So takeaway is you can now make reservations for parties of 8 or more. Valet parking is available. If you want a little rendezvous at home, you guys and gals make it easy.
You got it.
The Rendezvous, a family restaurant in the alley in downtown Memphis since 1948.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkhammer for Sunrise Chevy. Want to buy a new truck but not sure where to get the most for your money? Check out sunrisememphis.com. A huge selection of new trucks with savings up to $15,000 on new 18s and up to $10,000 on 19s. Bad credit? It's okay. At Sunrise, we specialize in secondary financing and want to get you financed. A great selection of GM certified trucks, and Sunrise specializes in trucks under $15,000. Don't make a $2,000 or $3,000 mistake. Chevy trucks cost less at the Sunrise Chevy Range partner. Find new roads to Houston, Levy, and Collierville. We make it fun to buy a car again.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment. And I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studios, Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis and WPGFLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
One thing I've learned over the years, no matter what you're buying, the smart thing to do is to buy from someone who sells quality products, delivers great personal service, and knows their business inside and out because they have over 2 decades of experience. When you're talking about insurance, it's more important than ever because you're counting on your agent to come up with a policy that's exactly what you need from a company you can absolutely depend on, be there when you need him, and save money all at the same time. When you deal with William Glass or any of their staff at the Glass Group, you're not only in good hands, you'll find out that you can put the money a lot of insurance companies spend on advertising on the World Series or college football or basketball in your pocket while you enjoy first-rate coverage on your home, auto, and business with things like rate lock on your car. So you're not canceled for a wreck or a speeding ticket. Guaranteed replacement on your home and contents, earthquake coverage, and outstanding rates for business on workman's comp, commercial auto, and any other business need you may have. Worried about mayhem? Call William Glass at the Glass Group, 843-1190. They'll handle it for you. 843-1190. When it comes to your pet, you want nothing but the best in boarding, daycare, and grooming. And we say thank you, Memphis, for voting Barks and Recreation #1 in best pet grooming in this year's Memphis Most competition. We're also #1 in boarding with indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please while they're being cared for by the best staff in Memphis, one that includes overnight staffing to ensure the safety and happiness of your pet 24 hours a day. And we're #1 in daycare with indoor and outdoor play areas, individual and group playtime, 4 walks a day, and small play groups to make sure that your pet gets the individual attention they deserve. Make your reservations now at barksdaycare.com or call us at 901-509-0909. Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove, between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Did you know that paying a traffic ticket is an admission of guilt? It is, and it could result in higher insurance rates and add points to your driving record, which could result in your license being suspended or even revoked. It's amazing how simple things can turn into major problems, and it's why no matter what legal problem you may have, you need to know exactly what your rights and your options are. You need an attorney who is only interested in one thing, fighting for you. And I've got one for you, Chelsea Rainey. You can call her for a free, convenient phone consultation at 901-647-4861. Traffic tickets, driving while impaired, drug charges, misdemeanors, divorce. If you live in the Metro Memphis area and you've been accused of a crime, you need to speak to attorney Chelsea Rainey about your options and your legal rights. Chelsea Rainey is dedicated to advocating and protecting your rights. Your initial consultation is free, and attorney Chelsea Rainey is always on call, always available at 647-4861. That's 647-4861.
You finally found it, the vehicle of your dreams. You know it's got everything you want, you just don't know the price. Until now, shop one price pre-owned vehicles today at AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Now, every pre-owned vehicle is clearly marked with our lowest price, guaranteed. That means no negotiations, no pressure, just one low price. And every certified AutoNation pre-owned vehicle is inspected in 125 different places, so there's no no worries. Plus, your purchase is protected with a money-back guarantee for 5 days or 250 miles, whichever comes first. And as America's largest automotive retailer, you can shop one-price pre-owned vehicles from over 250 stores coast to coast. That's something you can count on. Shop over 20,000 one-price pre-owned vehicles at AutoNation.com or visit AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Drive pink, drive safe, drive now. AutoNation. Certain terms, conditions, and restrictions may apply. See store for complete details.
Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by Gateway Tire and Service Centers, where there's always one thing you can count on. We go the distance for you. So before you hit the road for a trip across country or just across town, drop by any one of our 12 Memphis area locations. Whether it's tires or auto repair, you can always count on one thing. At Gateway Tire and Service Center, we go the distance for you.
Memphis Sports Radio welcomes you to the following presentation of Southern Sports Report. Welcome back to Gateway Tire and Service Center's Southern Sports Report with John Rainey, the Rain Man, and Kenny Myers. You can join the show by dialing 360-8255. Can't get to a phone? Email us at theboys@southernsportsreport.com. Southern Sports Report is being brought to you today in part by AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase, the #1 Ford volume dealer in the Memphis area. Parks and Recreation, luxury doggy daycare and boarding in the heart of East Memphis. This place is awesome. And of course, Gateway Tire and Service Centers. At Gateway, we go the distance for you. Phone lines are open and first-time callers are welcome, needed, and appreciated. And now, live from the AutoNation Fort Wolf Chase Studios, here's John Rainey, the Rain Man, and Kenny Myers.
And welcome back to Southern Sports Report. I am your host, John Rainey, the Rain Man. It is the Thursday, April 25th edition of the show. Mr. Gabe Kuhn is on the other side of the glass. He is waiting on your phone calls. We are fortunate to have him. He's got that FM voice, man. It could, sounds like he should be.
Kind of deep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sound like he should be on the FM station.
Well, he probably is.
He is on the FM station.
Yeah, 87.7. He's on one tonight.
Absolutely. But we are delighted to have Gabe on the other side of the glass, and you can join him at 360-8255 or 888-360-8255. And can email us, the boys, at southernsportsreport.com. Mr. Kenny Myers from AutoNation Ford Wolf Chase. Why you don't have lining in your coat like these guys?
Who my Jets going to take, man? They going to get the big guy from Alabama?
Why would they? Come on, man. Come on, man. They don't want them to ruin a guy's career by the Jets taking him.
You don't think the Jets will ever be good?
No. Why should they?
Because they're
When's
in
the
New York.
last time the Jets were good?
About 5 years ago.
Oh, come on.
6 years ago.
5 years ago, what, in dog years?
No. They got in the AFC Championship 2 years in a row when old Rex was there.
I'm sorry. What they win?
They got an AFC Championship game 2 years in a row.
What did they win?
They didn't win nothing.
That's what I thought. Okay. Just want to clear that up.
So it's either Super Bowl or bust. I mean, AFC Championship game's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, 2 years in a row.
It's pretty good if you really, honestly thought you had a chance.
And we are Super Bowl champions. We'll always have that.
Oh, that's
You
low.
forget Super Bowl III? Huh?
That's low, man. That's 49 years ago.
And it was a guy from Alabama that led us. So
49
why not
years
get the
ago.
big guy from Alabama now?
Lead you again?
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, wow. There's a combination I'm thinking of. The Jets were better than everybody thought, no question. I'm talking about Super Bowl III.
Yeah.
and the Colts.
Did you remember watching it?
Oh, well, I was just barely born then. Are you kidding me?
Oh, come on now.
Yes, I remember watching it. Yeah, it is a great example of, people taking a quote and blowing it up, taking it a little out of context. I mean, Namath's having a conversation with somebody in the back of the room and says, "Oh man, we're going to beat him, I guarantee it."
Well, he was on the beach, man.
Next thing it was, he's guaranteeing a win.
He was on the beach at the Fontainebleau Hotel, South Beach, Miami.
Good place to be.
Yeah. I was there about 4 years ago. I felt just like him. As a matter of fact, I even said the same thing.
You had the pantyhose on?
No, I didn't have the pantyhose on. That was before the pantyhose.
Oh, okay.
He didn't start that until about maybe 10 years later.
I understand they do help keep you warm.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe
It's
it.
kind of like wearing compression socks or something,
Yeah.
I guess.
They'll keep you warm. Look at all the people.
Nashville is making this look like as Kermit would say, a big damn deal.
It looks to me like it is.
Man, there's a lot of people.
Broadway is packed. Man.
You said 100,000?
It looks like at least 100,000.
That's incredible. I guess it is a big deal.
Yep. Yep. Looks like fun. It looks like the rain's going to hold off. And I didn't realize they were going to have it outside. I thought they'd have it at the Bridgestone.
Okay, I want to get this straight. This guy is a DJ in Nashville, and he's a mentor on American Idol. What is that exactly? What's a mentor?
Well, they help the guys out on American Idol.
The contestants? I mean,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you're a mentor, and that gets you on ESPN National Feed.